Fantastic. This is me. I know. Alright. Let's wait for more people to arrive. See how many people we can add in. I can't look at myself stream. That's just too much. That is just too much. Regardless, we're looking to see if anybody wants to join us. And if you see me looking this way, it is because that is where my second monitor is, where I'm monitoring all of this nonsense. I'll give everybody a little bit of time. A little bit of time. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Alright. I guess the bottom line is we should probably start drafting. In the meantime, I'm going to play some Constructed while we wait for more people to arrive so they can tell me how wrong I am at all of this. Alright. I'm just literally playing the deck I played at the Open. This hand's awful. With one minor change, I could do better. The only change is that this hand is awful, but it was 6, so the only big change is that I took out Front the Guard I removed, but I added Auto Tread in the market to help with all of the region that's running around. So basically gonna play this out a bit. Alright. Now you just need power. Power would be great. Well, Exploit is going to rip me a new one. Assuming they're going to take Javon. If they're smart, I generally assume my opponent is. They'll notice that I have 5 cards in hand. They see 5 cards, and they'll probably... Oh, they took the Hellfire Valkyrie. Interesting. I wonder if they have another exploit their plan is to take, like, Den next. Alright, well. I don't think that this logistics expert is living very long. We will see. We will see. Vinegrafter. Well, thankfully I have an answer to Vinegrafter. I'm just going to play Gemstone because I do need to hit my power. Searing Strike is really fun, really good. I actually got hit with it in a previous draft and it did not feel very good at all. Ooh. Is that a premium rune? It's nifty. I don't think it matters which way I go. I can't play the Den. So I'm going to start with Shulk Custodianing them. 2, okay. And they're slow spells, they're not fast. Okay, so they're using Alchemist, sure. I'm going to assume they plundered away one of the more expensive spells that I just created. Oh no, they kept one of them in Zenith Initiation? Well. Okay, so now I go down to 4. Well, I'm going to attack. If they have another one, that's fine too. Yeah, this is all acceptable to me. These trades aren't the best, but I'm fine with them. And I'll just play Javon and say go. Let's see what they got. Okay, so now they're going to take Inferno Den. I don't think... Yeah, this explosion is not threatening to them at all. Yeah, I'll take 3. There's nothing for me to do here. To Supplier, sure. Okay. Well, we'll blueprints first. And then we'll activate a Apprentice Mage. Well, now we get a 3/3 Apprentice Mage. That's nice. That's very, very nice. We're still pretty far away from using this Pyrotech Explosion for anything. I'd rather not use it on this 3/2 Alchemist, but the 3/2 is real clockable. Mandavilla's going to eat. Yep, makes sense to me. Rune of Flame. Oh, well, that makes my job a lot easier. So I'll just kill the Mandavilla with a rune. I mean, I could block. What's my plan? It's not auto tread. I don't want 2 artillery. I think Det Cannon is going to be my path to victory here. They know about explosion, so that's also a little scary. Well, Vinegrafter with... Well, at least it's a 2/2. But with the biggest scary thing about this is the fact that it's a Vinegrafter. There's a couple of things I could get. I don't think the Edicts are in Expedition right now. So I don't have to worry about like an Edict of Makar. 3. And now they can double block this if they so choose. We'll seat. I could just Phoenix Stone them. I'm 1 time away from Valiant Guardian. Just go. I'm 1 time, but really 2 power to do it all in 1 turn. Oh, Waxing Moon. Okay, so now everything's deadly. That's annoying at best. Okay, Fire Sigil. Not what I wanted to see. So I could auto tread. That doesn't do anything. I could Det Cannon. No, I could artillery to get rid of like the Supplier, I guess. I think I have to do that. I'm not getting rid of the Supplier. I'm gonna artillery to get rid of the 3/2, but I'm really far behind. Really far behind. Really, really, really far behind. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, Sandstorm Titan. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this game's pretty much over, I think. Yeah, I don't think this Inferno Den's doing anything. You don't need to. Alright. Let's play another one. Wait till we get a few more people in. These rune hands without basic sigils are really grinding my gears. Well, this isn't much better, but I can keep it at least. So I can Steering Strike on 2 or Houndmaster. Don't know what happened there. I'll just Houndmaster. Give me 1 second. That was weird. Okay, well that's nice to see. So Searing Strike, that. We'll play Seat. We're going to attack, obviously, and I think I want to play Gemstone. Because now I can rune if I need. Well, sorry, I can't rune yet. Need 1 more power to rune. Banish. Sure. Banish the Houndmaster makes sense. I'll play Fire Sigil. I could just play this as a 4/5. Yeah, I'll just play Expert as a 4/5. It still dies all their efficient removal, but hey, this is going to be... Okay, so they play a 4/5. They play a 5/4. Okay. I think what I want to do is I want to rune to bounce Roa and then just attack for 4. Let's say go. Alright, then they have Defile, sure. Mildly unfortunate. Supplier. Okay, so definitely blueprinting. Doesn't matter right now, but we have the thing. And then I can either Inferno Den or Azrog. Azrog can't get banished, can't get defiled either. What I can do is I can Azrog and then play Inferno Den into Dance. And then get the trigger off of it. I think that's what I want to do. And then if this dies, then I just get its Entomb bonus instead. Let's see what's going on here. So they could Roa. Oh, they have Mandevilla. Okay, yeah, that's fine. If they wanted Mandevilla, this is perfectly acceptable. Perfectly acceptable. Another Gemstone is interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Inferno Den. I'm going to Dance twice. Do they have a fast spell of some kind? I wonder what their fast spell is. I'm surprised that Zenith Midrange is a little bit more popular, thanks to Desert Alchemist, Sandstorm Titan, Banish, all the new Xenon tools. So they're gonna exploit my hand. My hand's pretty exploit proof. I think they just hit Javon, yeah. Plunder away a power so they can draw a new card. Oh, they're just gonna play Roa. Alright, because they can play Roa and then my nonsense with the Conflagrate doesn't work. So I'll bottoms up this one. Just the one. Just the one. I will pop. Yeah, I can just pop the heirloom here. Serve in. I think we're gonna lose the sight, but I'm fine losing the sight here. Maybe we should have been more correct to put it here, but I was multitasking. Alright, so that's 1 card I'm not drawing. That's 2 cards I'm not drawing. Okay. So they're at 10. I draw 1 card. Draw another blueprints. Say go. I actually have enough to play and pop this blueprints, so. Den goes away. I'm fine with that. then what's your follow-up? Stealth unit, so Azendel. Okay. Runeflame. Well, Runeflame doesn't do anything with Ra. But it does have Lifesteal, which is relevant. I'm going to pop Gemstone to get Artillery, play Artillery, kill Azendel. Oh, they have a Valkyries in hand? Okay. Okay, 6. So they're going to draw the top card of our deck. They're going to draw and play the top card of our deck. These have to attack. I'll keep these back. I'm highly confident this is an Azendel. There's nothing else it could be. Yep. So then they're going to reveal Azendel. Oh, it got Killer even. So another Azendel, and oh, that's unfortunate. They could, I guess they could try to dome me out. It's probably better for them to unsummon something. But they went from one, they found one Azendel and they've hit another Azendel. It's pretty funny. Oh, that is unfortunate for me. I think I need to find. Oh, I can't. No, I can't even. I can't even explosion them because I got to explosion Roa first. Yeah, and then they gain 5 or gain 4, go to 9. Then I take 8. And no, I'll block this. Yeah, I'll block. That cannon does nothing. Okay, so that's what they have. Cool. I can draw a bunch of cards. Interesting. Huh. Very, very interesting. 21. Yeah, I guess I want to draw some cards. I think that's my best bet. It's unfortunate for me. Especially considering that this city is still here, preventing me from doing shit. Okay, I'll draw 3. Rune, Azrog, Sigil. Play Sigil, play Mage, say go. Okay. Sauropod into power. Okay. How do I win? How do I win? How do I win? Banish that, sure. That is... Oh, that's lethal. That's 23. Yep, that's 23. Okay. So they actually needed to hit a power. Well, they actually didn't need to hit a power. Okay, so I was just dead on board. Sometimes I'm bad at math. Okay. Sometimes I'm bad at math. Let's see here. Alright. 20 minutes. Let's draft. Okay. This pack is pretty bad in my opinion. Voltage Generator is not a card that I really consider for anything. Blueprints is okay. Well-Laid Trap is interesting, but it's not something that I'm really keen on. I have drafted the Argenport discard deck a lot, and Racketeers has performed well in that deck, but that's still pretty tricky. Like, the best card might be Vanguard or Ransack. The runes are obviously good as well, and you can splash the runes. I'm not considering Sentinel Mold either. The effects are really bad. Actually, I'm going to take a snapshot of it. This pack is not great. I like fire aggro as an archetype, or in general, in this format, so I'm going to take Vanguard. Alright, Justice Sketch is, I think, the best card in the pack. Searing Strike is also really good. Same with the Noah's Fury, Open Way Supplier, Oran Brute. Outmatch is fine, but it's no topple. I'm just gonna take this Justice Sketch. It's also premium. You know, that's not nothing. Interesting. Okay, so there's a topple in the pack. I think topple is the best card. There's Dashing Scoundrel, which is also just fine. I've rarely had interactions where all of my units having deadly when they attack is great. Send a Message is good, but it's kind of a build around. I don't want to take it early and then go into the discard deck. So I think I just take a topple here. Well, another Send the Message is interesting. There's also this Awakening. Yeah, I'll take the Send the Message here. Kind of contradicting my earlier thing. Alright, I don't think we're Fire. Raging Jackal is pretty good. It tends to trade up. Shackles is also very powerful. I underrated this card. Shackles is not a fog. Because it doesn't prevent all damage. It just prevents the damage that one thing will do, and then you can amplify it multiple times. I think Jackal's better than everything else in this pack. I could ignore this Send a Message. Yeah, I'll just take Jackal. Okay. Well, I got another topple, so that's nice. I think Glenn Pathfinder is better than everything else in this pack. I'll take Glenn. I will take Foot Soldier over Oran Brute, I think. I'll take Lotus, but I don't want to be Time. I like Operative over Leatherhide for the most part. I like drawing a card better. Shackles. I guess I'll take Shackles here. Commando. Okay, so the one thing that I don't think I am is I'm not Primal, and I'm not Time for the most part. I have two good Justice cards, but the rest of my cards are now Stone Scar. So I think I'm an aggro deck, and with Sealing Steelfang Chakram, well, Chakram is a house. God, but I do have 3 good Justice cards. Are my 3 Justice cards better? Well, okay. I don't have to make that decision right now. I'm just going to take Chakram. I think I'm definitely supposed to be Fire. I'm probably supposed to be Rakano. I'll take Chakram and see what happens here. Okay, so there's a Fatal Misstep. The Justice cards aren't great here. Like Silver Short Sword is fine, but it's unexciting. Detain is not a card I want to play. Laser Blast is cool. In Rakano, it doesn't deal that much. It's not actually that powerful. Unless you pick up some, like, Barricade Bashers. There's a Gaudy Showman, which I always like having around. Yeah, I think I'll take Gaudy Showman and stay Fire. Feed the Flames is interesting. I don't think this is the deck for it. I do like Retribution. Yeah, I'm not seeing any good Shadow cards. I'm going to take Retribution here. Okay, so now we get some Shadow cards. Also, Bladekin Apprentice. This card can get out of hand really fast. So I think I'm going to take it over the Tinker. Okay. From the Heavens. Sorry, let's remove the Shadow cards. From the Heavens. This is not a From the Heavens deck. Sweepers are generally good and limited, but man, gotta get to 8. And the way this deck is shaping out, I kind of only want to play 15. So I'm actually more interested in Scythe Slash. Fire units and Justice removal. But this can act like removal, so I'll take Scythe Slash here. Okay. Oni Hybrid can draw Steelfang Chakram from the Void, although I should be drawing it normally. And like now I've got a bunch of decent Justice cards. Also Gun Down. I'll take one Gun Down. I don't want multiples. Okay. So now we have a choice between taking Grenadin and Obstructor. I like Obstructor. It's very good with cards like Scythe Slash. It's also great with Chakram. Then also, just Plunder is not very frequent in this format, and being able to fix your power when you only have a couple in hand is really important, I've found. Right, I'll take the Rusty Grenamotive. Sure, it's a 2/4, but it can attack very well. 2/4s can attack pretty freely. I'll take Overcharger. Overcharger goes well with like Obstructor, as well as like Blade King Apprentice. Alright, I'll take the second Showman. I'll take Warden, and I'll take Pyre Adept. And you'll be surprised, people will play Pyre Adept. You will play a 3-1. Just a vanilla 3-1 for 2. Alright, Forge Sanitizer is... I've only got Emerald Overcharger for it. Otherwise, there's a Seed of Glory. I'll take the Power Fixing or the Influence Fixing here. Heirloom Blade versus Ticking Grenadin. If I have to pay 4 power for it, or if I get to pay 2 for it, that's usually fine. Yeah, we'll take it. Another Overcharger. Or Emulator. I think I like Emulator. The body's not exciting, but... Okay, so... Silvery Augmenter is a 7 power, 3/3 flyer that you can give another unit +5/5, which is big. I think I'd rather just have like a Furnace Mage. Like having one Furnace Mage is fine. Yeah, like other than I'm looking interested in Scythe Slash and this Torchpaw. A Premium from the Heavens. I'm not playing Soul's Fury or Rail Driver, so I'll take from the Heavens here. I'll take Into the Furnace over Watchman Showman, number 3 or Caleb's favor. I'll take Minotaur Grunt. I've seen a lot of people not super high on Minotaur Grunt. I think it's fine. I'll take another Blade King Apprentice. I'll take a Treasury Guard. I'll take a Repeated Cell Sword and a Cobalt Acolyte. Okay. So I don't think we want to play this from the Heavens though. Alright, so what do we got here? Oh, there's a Blitzstone, there's also Overthrow. I think this is a recycle deck. I'm just gonna take Blitzstone. Well, now I get my second chance at Overthrow. There's also a Det Cannon. Yeah. I'll take Det Cannon here. Lava Burst versus Inoa's Fury. I only have 17 units, so I do want to get more of those. And I just had a draft with Lava Burst, so that might be a little too much. So I'm just going to take Inoa's Fury here. Inoa's Fury just helps you win so many combats that you may otherwise not be able to have any business in. Alright, Queen's Elite, perfect. We're in that deck already. Instigator is good. There's also a Rune of Law. I could use a Rune of Law. The biggest thing with Awakened Instigator is it doesn't have any evasion, which is why I've been unimpressed with it. Well, now I get another Rune of Law anyways, so take that. Glen Sapper is really powerful, but we're very far away from it. Take Foot Soldier. I will take Commando. I'll take another Jackal. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Alright. So... Boom. Got it. Alright. So we're not playing Manufactured Force. So this is 31, so if I add power to... No, I'm not playing 19 in this deck. Yeah, this seems better. We're playing... Yeah, okay. So, I don't think I have any units that I want to put in my market. This is the kind of the crazy thing. Like, I didn't draft that many units, is the thing. So I could probably just cut Warden. And then probably cut Gundown 2 and Soul's Fury. That's 9 and 9. That's 8. That's 9 and 9 sources of influence, not counting my 3 Plunderers. So my 2s are Apprentice, Foot Soldier, Grunt, Adept, and Emulator. Can I just cut Pyre Adept here? I think that's fine, because now I've got 6 2s. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 3s. Okay, and then sure, we'll cut another power, I think. Like, we got 3 Plunder effects. The only thing we have is double. Well, no, we have a double fire and a double justice. Actually, we have 4 Plunder effects, I should say. So let's cut a Sigil. And then we've got Sketch and Runes for additional reach. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. play the first game. I don't know why I keep running into drafting into Rakano. I think it might be because I overvalue Topple and Blitzstone. But at the same time, I think that that's just entirely fine. Like, I think Topple is probably the best common after playing and listening to some other people. You can obviously draft other decks, but I just always land into one of those. Okay. Well, this hand is awful. We will redraw it. This hand... Oh, Lord. I can play everything, though. Yeah, sure, I'll keep it. I can play everything except Chakram, and I could theoretically, like, Blitzstone on 2, play Blakehead Apprentice, attack for 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we are popping off. Yeah. Yeah. Reliable Troops is pretty annoying. Oh, were they relying on that for their next power? Hoo-hoo. Spicy. I don't think there's anything I need to be afraid of. I could just use my power efficiently and play this Mercenary Vanguard. Well, we'll play Apprentice and we'll attack. Hit for 3. Apprentice is going to be really hard for them to block. It's going to be really easy for them to remove. They just go power Topple. No. That's fine too. I'm going to Showman their stealth. Great. That card is... I mean, James Combatant is not a card you're excited to play. But this is a 3-2 Valor. The two X2 Valors are all pretty good. There's another one. Interesting. Okay. There's my Justice Sigil. I wish this was undepleted. Because then I could leave up Noah's Fury. Well, let's just attack. Because if they block this, I can just Noah's Fury either thing. They literally can't block this. I just don't know what this is. Could be the 06, but that seems not great. Okay, well, we'll just blow them out there. Now I have a 6-1. And I won't leave them guessing, so I'll play that. Oh, so that's why they didn't want to block. Sure. Ooh, so they're Argenport. And they don't... Oh, they found their first Shadow Source. Into Dark Wisp. That's pretty good. Am I taking 4? Oh, they're going to play Glenn as well. Okay. Well, my Gaudy Shaman is going to die. They're going to block both of their units, so I'll play Vanguard so I can get in some damage. At this point, the Blakehead Apprentice is essentially the Abyss. Almost everything they're going to block with is going to die to it. There's obviously a couple of exceptions, but... And then if they want to stop this, they have to remove this. Okay, yeah. Nectar of Unlife makes sense. What are they picking up? That's an interesting question. The Dark Wisp. Oh, they want to draw more cards. Sure. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to play Treasury Guard and say go. I don't want to lose either of my units attacking into this 4-4. Sure, I could get this trade off, but that seems less than good right now. I can draw... If I draw a power... Oh, they buffed Glenn? Okay. Do you want to attack with the 4? Why not? It's free real estate. Okay. Starter turn. Power card. Okay, so I played power. I can put Chakram on guard, attack with both. They take 2, go to 11. And then if they block, then double block, this is a 6, and I can make it a 10. And then they take 9, going to 2. This becomes a 1-3. I draw Chakram. Seems fine. Wait, no. Sorry, messed up. Chakram here. So they take 2, go to 11. Oh, interesting. So that's how they want to block. Okay, so get that off the table. Well, I'm just going to do this. So you take 9, go to 2. That does seem correct, though. In my turn. I am hellbent, which is not ideal. I also can't block any other creatures or any other units, but I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're planning on blocking. Okay. What do we need to find? Hmm. Well, I'm not blocking. I can't block the 4/4, and I'm not blocking her 1/1. Ah, that's what they had. Okay. Oh, they go to 1. So draw Chakram. I can't play that. Not that it matters. I would trade it for the 4/4 anyways. Well, there we go. They have Rapid Shot. I could just die if I amplify this. Well, I need some things to go right for me anyway, so I'll amplify it. And then if they kill me with a Rapid Shot, then they kill me with a Rapid Shot. If they didn't kill me with Rapid Shot, I'll play this, kill your 4/4. Alright, I'm going to play a Queen's Elite, and hopefully another unit this turn. Okay, there's Ursa Squadron. I'll play Queen's Elite, I'll play Replicated Soul Sword. I want to say go. And then I'm going to hopefully win the game. Well, obviously block. I don't want to take a bajillion damage. Well, not really a bajillion, just any damage. Okay, so what can they have? So I can... So they could have Cut Ties? But they need 2 removal spells. So honestly, it doesn't matter what I do. They could have an ambush unit. Research lab. No. Wait. Let's attack with both. Let's just attack with both. See what they have. Top card verdict. Oh, they just had nothing. Okay, good. Cool. Cool. Fantastic. 17th Masters level. Perfect. I don't think the deck's great, but I think it's pretty decent. Oh, Lard. Alright. Oh, this hand's great. This hand is great. I'm not going to play this Destructor on 1. I'm going to play Raging Jackal on 1. If we draw another Fire Sigil, I might plunder that away. Oh, they have Boiling Geyser. Well, if I known they had Boiling Geyser, I would have... I'm not going to play around turn 1 Boiling Geyser. I'm just not going to. I will plunder away this Fire Sigil. I don't think I'm going to... Like, unless they play... Okay, yeah, I don't think I'll need that. Rule the Skies. Sure. You may continue trading 1 for 1. Ah, my influence is fixed anyways. Thank you, Rusty Krenimoto. Okay. Alrighty, I will attack. I will not attack twice. Let's draw a card off of our trove. Emulator's nice. I'll play Sigil. Do I want to get the value off this emulator, or do I want to use this Rune of Law? Because I could Rune of Law them into, like, non-existence next turn. I'm just going to say go. Okay, well. They have nothing... Oh, they might have the deal for to an attacker? Okay. I'll play around Lightning Strike, and then I will amplify Or, sorry, Berserk. That way, oh, they have nothing. Okay. This way I just get 12 in. Then I'll play... Oh, I could just play this. No, I'm just play Emulator, not do anything. There's no reason for me to plunder. Like, all of my cards are good. But I do want to get the 1-2 in play. And they were just stuck on things to do. They had interaction for our first 2 units, which is important. Being able to deal with a 1 that you drop if you're a reactive deck is important. But I just don't think that's the axis they wanted to fight us on. And with our hand, it lined up pretty well with them, so not too worried. Don't know what's the thing, though. Like, the deck's pretty good. Well, is it? I don't know. If this 7 wins, then Lord, I have no idea. I have no idea. Don't mind me just looking at my phone. Checking the twits. Ugh. This is the best part. This is the worst part about draft. The queue times are so much longer than constructed. And sealed. Sealed is usually a very quick turnaround as far as that's concerned. But hey. Not surprised that the queue time's this low, though. Or this long. Just because of, you know, there's an open this weekend. In this format. It's not that late. It's only 9:45 where I am. Well then. Alright, perfect. Oh, again? This is just good. This is the first time this has happened to me. I'm keeping this hand. Even though I'm on the draw, I'm keeping this hand. Same person, same match, same deck. And I'm gonna get Boiling Geyser again. Not, oh no, they have Bottled Insight. Okay. So this is Lazard had a reactive Skycrack deck. Oh no, they were not Skycrack. They were simply splashing Skycrack. Well, take that. Play Soldiers. They go. They can play a stealth unit, but I can just blank 2 of them. Oh, now they have a Boiling Geyser. Okay. That makes sense. Stealth unit? No, no stealth unit. Well, I'm still just gonna attack. Sure, I'll actually play at 1 for no value. Because I do want to end this game quickly. Like, if their game plan is to play Boiling Geyser and Bottled Insights and then, like, Rule the Skies, then I think it behooves me to try to end the game as quickly as possible. I do want to save both of these for, like, actual things. Well, hold on. If I play Furnace Mage, then I exhaust a unit, attack for 10, put him to 5. Sure, I'll play this for no value. I do want to play Showman for value. Okay, now they play Fire. Hooroo Fledgling. Oh, yeah, no. This game is over. Like, their first interactive play was Boiling Geyser. The first unit they played was a Hooroo Fledgling. Okay, so now they have a 5/5, but they're still, like, uber mega dead. Like, yeah, okay. Darley is good. I feel bad for running into Lazard literally twice. In a row. That's unfortunate. If it happens the 3rd time, that's gonna be ridiculous. Hey, it's not. It's Mail. Hi, Mail. No. I want something to do early, and Anoa's Fury is not something to do early. So we'll redraw. This hand's better. It's not exciting, but it's better. Just needs 1 power. I got Queen's Elite and Commando. Well, they've got the same card back as me, except they're bronze, which means they are newer to the game. Curious to see what their approach is going to be here. They're going to mulligan 7. Okay. Then it's their go. Alright, well, Bloodstone's actually a fantastic draw. Means I don't have to play my Foot Soldier out first. I might, depending on what they do, of course. Supplier. Herbalist. Okay. Just card. Okay, so their hand has nothing but like sigils in it or something. Okay. Well, I do need to find another power card because they're about to play a power and then use Secret Pages to ramp. They have Eager Offering. I can attack through an Eager Offering. Fortunately, they're going to draw 2 cards. Oh, they're going to block? Yeah, no, don't block. Yeah, I was about to say, if they block, that doesn't make sense. Like, you play this card to draw 2 cards. You don't play this card as an 0-4 blocker. In previous formats, I have silenced this card so that they don't draw cards. See what they got going on. There's a lot of cards they could have that would make... Okay, well that's actually nice for me. Well, we'll attack. Great. And then I'm going to play Rampaging Commando. My goal is to either play Gaudy Showman to exhaust their next play, or play Queen's Elite to buff the top card of my deck. Okay, so Secret Pages happens. This feels like a Populous controller. Skyguard Sentinel, effectively the same thing. We will Rampage the Foot Soldier. In this case, I'm going to Showman to exhaust. I'm also going to Overcharger here, get in for 11, drop him to 7. Okay. So they need to play another unit. Then I can just jam this like Chakram. Oh, they have Primal access. Interesting. Okay. So there's a couple of time stealth units that are X3s, and a handful of others. I think I want to do this. Attack with these 2, because these should at least trade for this, because I also want to get the next card on my deck buffed. That block makes sense. Oh, and then wow, yeah, okay. I had a feeling that was not going to work out, so I'm going to play Raging Jackal. Say go. Okay, what do we got? Xenon Guardian. That card's annoying as hell. I was about to say, if they want to attack, they are more than welcome to. Like, this card probably can attack with impunity. But if these other cards want to attack, fine by me. I do have another Gaudy Showman that I can find. They're debating what else to do. Well, that's actually not bad either. So if I bump up the Raging Jackal, I might just play Grenamotive. And say go. They can make this into an 8/8, which is a problem. Alternatively, I can put Chakram on Foot Soldier. No, that doesn't force a trade, though. It'll force a trade with this. Do I want to trade this thing? Am I good throwing away... Well, it's not a throwaway. So if I attack with the Foot Soldier and the Jackal, they can block the Foot Soldier here and then this with the Jackal, and they take no damage. So if I buff the Jackal, because with 4/3 I attack, they would have to block here, and then I get to play Grin Motive. I actually like that. Yeah, let's do that. May have been better on the Grin Motive. Yep, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And if they don't block, that's fine too, because then I just kill them with Detonation Cannon. If they block with this too, I might just kill this instead. Because this being an 8/8, it uses their entire turn. Oh, they had refresh. Okay, well, refresh makes things a little more awkward. That's fine. I'll just play Grin Motive and say go. So they can spend their entire turn to make it 8/8. Which is not good for me. They also now have a 5/9. I want to draw a power card. Okay, so they're going to use their entire turn for that. I will not block it, because blocking it does me no good. Okay. Power card. Okay. Whoa. What does power card do for me? I can drop him to 3. I could drop you to 3. So I put Chakram here. The only way you get this off the table is either a double block here or a single block there. Yeah, I think I actually just like this. And then I will throw this away. And I'll Berserk to make your life miserable. Okay, so they did the double block line. Okay. And then block there. I can't kill this, so I guess I have to kill the 1/4. I'm not excited about it. I need the top card of my deck to be good. Or the top unit or weapon on my deck to be good. Or I need to draw more power. Yeah. Alright. Say... go. But now this can be lethal, because I've got a Steel Fang Chakram. I wonder what you're primal for. Oh, a Grafter is real bad for me. It's also just another unit. I need to find... Topple. I need to find it now. I need to find Topple, and I need it now. Like, I'll also accept Runner Topples. Runner Topple. That is not Runner Topple. So I can... Shit. So I can deal 4, put him to 3, kill the Plate Grafter, say go, and I have to block this. And I don't think I have any outs. After that is the biggest problem. Let's play to our outs. Let's go. But I'm not sure what outs I'm playing to. There's a lot of cards I could have that just kill me here at the upper front. Oh, yeah. Concoction's enough. Concoction's enough. Stormhawk Concoction is more than enough. I don't know if I would splash Stormhawk. Well, to splash a Stormhawk Concoction is not bad. Better or up? Sure, this hand's fine. I believe they are a streamer, so this will be fun. Maybe we're going to lead with Apprentice over the Foot Soldier. I probably don't want to play Dead Cannon here. Time. Alright, well, let's lead on Apprentice. Let's lead on Apprentice. Another Combray deck. There's not much that I won't be able to attack through. Yeah, like I can attack through an open way supplier. Do I... How much do I not want them to have a 4-drop on turn 3? I don't know about that much. I'll just play Foot Soldier here. Oh, they had Nectar Snare Lotus. Okay. Well, wasn't surviving that. I'll play Sigil. I'll play Overcharger. Attack for 5. Yeah, you're tapped out. Say go. The next turn I could Rune of Law to attack for 7. Unless they have another crazy killer card that's coming off the top. Hidden Unit, Herbalist. Sure. Well, I'm not blocking. I can't block. So if I Rune, it'll be next 4. A single block is next 5. Yeah, I'll just Rune and jam on the gas. That makes sense to me. Okay. Okay, what is this? Sky Super. Oh, that thing had killer. Sure. Yep, makes sense. Makes sense. Well, their hand matched up pretty well to what we were doing. Exotic. Oh boy. I have a feeling I'm about to get concoctioned again. Don't tell me how I know. Don't tell me how I know. Well, my avenue to victory is going to be playing my units out, unfortunately. But I think I'm about to get... I think they have... Well, last stop means I think they have shackles in their hand, but this feels like a Stormhawk Concoction. I wonder why else a Combray deck would splash Primal for, exotic purchase. This is the second time we've also played against this Combray splash Primal nonsense. Not a concoction? So what spell did they get? Oh, and another Xenon Guardian? Fun. Alright. Let's Blitzstone the X1. Oh, this is a this is 100% Shackles. I'm not gonna run into Shackles here. It's gonna be really hard for me to play around Shackles, but I'm 99% sure that they have telekinetic Shackles in their hand. I need them to tap out for nonsense. Okay. Alright, I'm taking it. I'm not happy about it. Amber Lock, okay. Open my supplier. Okay, there's another one. I still have this telekinetic Shackles in hand. How do I get what I want at 6 against 18 when I know they have telekinetic Shackles? I can Det Cannon them, but they're just going to take 4. Kill this. They attack with everything. I block and block. Take 4, go to 2. Any pump spell and I'm dead. I feel like they have to have a Stormhawk concoction in there somewhere. We'll try that. I think I need my opponent to just forget how to play in order to win this game. Yeah. So they marketed for Shackles. Alright, so now what do I do? I have to say go because attacking with the weapon does actually nothing. Okay. They have multiple ways to access the market. Not only do they have exotic purchase, but they have plate grafter. Okay, well, I make my blocks. I go to 2. And I need to magically get 9 power and magically need to get 9 power and or 8 get 2 more power and from the heavens. So GG's. Yeah. Sometimes that's how it be. Alright, let's try to get to that 4th win. The Open on Friday and Saturday, you get 4 drafts and you have 7 games apiece. Thankfully I'm Masters, so my first draft automatically gets 2 wins. And I think I just need to get 18 wins to... Oh, this hand's awful. I think I need to get to 18 wins in order to make day 2. This hand's not much better, but I'm going to keep it on the back of turn 1 Raging Jackal. I do like this totem. I prefer my fire totem. It's simple. Alright, Iblongno. What are you going to do, friend? I think my favorite totem is the Nightfall one. With the Alucard. Oh, they plug into 6. Oh well, that's annoying. But there's not much I can do about Arbalest at this stage in the game. I'm just going to have to draw units. Can't be too hard, right? Drawing units. Well, speaking of units, attack. We will plunder away this Fire Sigil. Since we do have a Justice, and a Fire card in the deck. That was a perfect draw. Beautiful. We'll Treasure Trove. We won't reveal any information. And then we'll play Raging Jackal. Number 2. So now they're probably going to play a stealth unit. Yep. And I can topple it, which leads me to believe it is one of the 3 power ones. It could be a 2 power one, but I know it's not Nurturing Sentinel. And I think I'm okay toppling here to push damage. Because if they have a second Justice, their next play is going to be Arbalest to kill one of these Raging Jackals. We'll kill it on the crackback, though. So that's what I want to do. Yeah, Sticky Flytrap. Flytrap's pretty good. If I had attacked, they would have just eaten my emulator and taken 4, and still had a 3/3. Okay, so they're missing Justice. Cool. Oh, they have Primal. Interesting. Okay. So, what I can do is attack with these 2. They can block here. I can Fury it. Win the exchange. Now, if they find their Justice for Arbalest, they don't get to keep their Arbalest. They just kill this and get the single Warcry. And they might as well get the 4-1 off the board over anything else. They're not getting any value off of the 3 strength on when they play it. They could also be debating. They're going to play another Peacekeeper instead of the 4-1 now. Okay. Or they're going to send the 2-1 again. Interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is punish them for that. Overcharger the Jackal, and then if they want to block as a chump, and then I could do it again next turn. I'll give them a spicy target with the Blaken Apprentice to like snipe it, but I think their life is going to be pretty miserable at this stage. Here's the Arbalest. Kill the Apprentice. Yep, that makes sense to me. They have 1 power remaining. What's the plan? They have 1 power. Well, I think my plan just became a little bit easier. I Det Cannon. Oh, they might have Shackles. Was that their plan? Was their plan to Shackles? Well, this way they have to Shackles me. Yeah, okay, so their plan was to Shackles. Sure. Then I'll just attack with everything. Sure, they get to trade for my 4-1, but the end result is the same. Okay, this is like a Populous controller. Off-book officer. Silence. Yep. Well, I'm going to exhaust that, hit you for 3, put you to 5, to go. All this off of 3 power after I plundered away my 4th. God, this game's great. Oh, they're going to unsummon my 1-2, sure. Or 2-1, sure. That's fine, too. No matter what, it's trade, so I'm just going to attack. Cool. I will play Sellsword. Goodbye, Greta Motive. There's Raging Jackal, so go. I think only From the Heavens can kill me here. And there we go. Fantastic. And we stay at 17. And we got to the 4th win. So now, this was the Open on the weekend. This is going to be a critical game because going 5-2 in all of your drafts, I think guarantees you day 2. So we'll see. Hey, DeVincent. Hello, a friend. On the draw, that's still fine. I gotta go Jackal on 1. Probably Blitzstone on 2, because they're on the play. And then I get to play Queen's Elite and attack with both. For a hand on the draw, this is pretty good. Alright, Path Cutter is annoying, but I can't do anything about it. Xenon, okay. Open Noise Supplier. I'm not blocking your Glen Sap or your Glen Path Cutter because you want this to die. Ransack, okay. It's annoying, but now I'm just gonna play my Minotaur Grunt and say go. Because now I can just play Queen's Elite next turn and jam anyways. I hope they just repower. Rusty Granite Motive, well, that's annoying. I think I still play Queen's Elite and then attack with both. That way I get up off the top card of my deck. They take no damage, but I think this essentially is a Warcry 2. I think that's going to be way better than anything else. Ooh. Oh, double block. Okay, I will get Glen off the table here. Fortunately, they get to keep their 2/4, my 2/4 that Vincent stole. How dare you? I'm just kidding. If they play an X2, I can Blitzstone and then play Foot Soldier. Oh, they have Into the Furnace? Okay. That changes my plans slightly. Oh, I'm going to take 4 here, and then they're going to get 3 power back? Sure. Oh, they stole my Into the Furnace. How'd they steal 2 of my spells? Unlucky. Oh, and then they're going to Thorn Beast? Sure. Okay. Oh. That's nice. Alright, so now my Blitzstone Foot Soldier line is live. But they'd have to play an X2. They're going to ransack again? Why? Stop! I can't play you! I'm just going to play this Mercenary Vanguard and say go. Can't get hit by my removal. Can get hit by almost all of their removal. That's their own Justice. Oh, Terius, okay. I will absolutely pop the Aegis on Terius. They have something. What do they have? Smells like Shackles. It's not Shackles. Interesting. Yeah, I'll take 3. I'm not excited about it. You draw 1/1s, but they're 1/1s with Valor, and 1/1s cannot block my your 1/1s with Valor cannot block my 1/1s with Valor. Maybe they play an attachment of some kind. Okay, so there's their Awakened. Oh, they're gonna Thorn Beast. Sure. That's cute. That's cute. Dead cannon. This is actually fine. I'll attack with these. Deal 2, they go to 7. They have to block 1 of these. So they take 2, go to 5. I then Det Cannon and kill the Thorn Beast. Which nugs me for a bunch. But I am representing lethal now, and they can't necessarily attack with this Terius. Okay, well, they attack. Oh, they drew my Scythe Slash? Okay, so that's 7. I go to 5. They draw an Awakened. They play an Awakened. They play a Shadowpath Intimidator. Mill me. Okay. Build a power and a thing. Valkyrie Emulator's a little awkward. I could play this, but I can't. So we attack. Deal 2, put him to 3. I'm at 5. So that's a trade, that's a chump. And then I'm just gonna play I want to play Furnace Mage, because this can trade for this. It's also just lethal in its own right. But they can have enough, like, stuff, they can have enough, like, combat tricks that I just want to block this. Intimidator, so can't block, you attack for 3, make a 1/1, play it. So if I draw... Oh, man. This is close. I attack with both, they have to block each one individually. They go to 1. They would need to draw another Intimidator off the top. Yeah, this is fine. They would need to draw another Intimidator. They've already shown 2, but I do have to play this Emulator to block. Any removal and I'm dead, but I had to attack. Man, this is close. This is a real tight race. Question is, did I get there? Because as soon as I attack... Oh. Whew. That was close. That was close. I actually had a really close game with DaVinci in a different draft earlier tonight, which had that same feel where they were on the play and I was on the draw, and my hand just didn't match up well against them. In this case, thankfully, my hand did match up against them, so... That was a pretty good hand, I would say. Alright, so we're at 5-2, so this is the bar for the weekend. The deck didn't seem great, but I think it was pretty good. Like, it has its spots where it's very good, so I think that that's something that I need to remember. Like, sure, drafting Rakano is probably kind of more of a comfort zone thing for me, especially since I like playing aggro decks, but it's something that I was considering, so. All in all, pretty good. Pretty good. Sorry. I think this one's a keep. It's got all my plays. I'm on the play. I can play Jackal. If I draw a Justice card that I can't play, I can Emulator it away into a Sigil, so that I can play my future Justice cards. Also, I'm 17 and Dark Revender is 18, so this is this is important. Here is Jackal, baby. Time. Well, get in there. I'm not going to Emulator, I'm not going to Plunder away anything yet. I don't know if I'm going to need my 4th power or 5th power. Well, so they're Justice. There's nothing they can have here that's really that dangerous for me. I mean, they could Shackles, but, like, if they Shackles, great. Play Grenamotive. So they can have Topple here. I think they kill the... They have Monitor. Okay. Okay. Let's play Vanguard. Attack. I'm not gonna Berserk here. They get to eat my Jackal. Oh, do they have another trick? There are a handful of tricks in here. This is go to the 4-drop. I'm just gonna say go. I can just use this to kill an X4. Yeah, this is gonna be better for me. Like if they play like a Lotus or yeah. Oh yeah. Kill the 3/3. Bam. Got there. Okay. Well, Retribution is nice. I'd rather not have to plunder that if I don't have to. No, I won't double attack here. Okay, so they definitely have one of the tricks that is okay. I'm gonna wait. I think Retribution is good enough that I don't want to just spew it into a sigil right now, so it's just that I don't have to. Now, if I draw like an Overcharger, or if I draw an Emerald Overcharger, or even a Topple, because Topple's dead at this point. Well, now Topple's not dead. Topple is not dead anymore. Oh, are they dead? Oh, they're dead. Well, okay, they're not dead anymore. Well, that's awkward. I would need this plunder to randomly hit Justice. All right, Obstructor, do your magic. Justice, fire. Play fire. Tax, skip. They can double block this to kill it, but I think they need to block my Bladekin Apprentice. Now I am on the fan side of draw my... Oh, they must have that, like, -1 or -2 strength for like 0. There's one that's like -2 attack and ready. Yeah, well, they try. This is the one. Okay, so this is 0. They do this block. They take 4, go to 2. Oh, so they need an answer to one of my units now. Actually, both of my units. Like, a Topple doesn't do it. They need something else. Yeah, they're just dead. They just take 2 and die. Okay. Whew. Close. Okay, maybe not that close. I was at 23. Okay, 7 wins. First streamed draft with intermittent attendance, but I've seen at least one other person besides me watching the stream, so thank you to those people. So all this other stuff is just gravy, considering that, we're looking specifically for that first 7 games of a draft is what's going to define the Open this weekend. So getting to 5-2 is good. Rather we'd get to 7-0 or 6-1, but hey, sometimes you draw poorly. Sometimes you just get faction screwed like we did in that game. But we powered through it. I think we'd be even further ahead if we had hit Justice off of the Junk Obstructor. Because then we silence and stun the Xenon Guardian attack. Sure, they could stop that and give it endurance again. Oh, no, that doesn't even... Yeah, that doesn't stop anything. Sure, it wouldn't have its ultimate ability, but that's not what it was. Its biggest thing at that time was being a 3-3. So, oh well. It's interesting to say the least. Come on, let's get our 7th match, our 7th win. This is our 9th match. Time to hit match 9. 6 wins, 2 losses. Can we get the 7th win? This would be if I win the next one, would be my second 7th win draft of the format. My first one was a Hoover deck that was really good. It had 4 Stalking Cyberfangs and 2 Stormhalt Concoctions. One time I dealt 10 damage and drew 10 cards. No. Yes, it was 10 damage, 10 cards, because that Cyberfang did not have the fate bonus from drawing it. So, we'll see how this goes. I think Rakana's just a good baseline. I think everybody is prepared for it now, so they have game plans to deal with it. So it may not be the best thing just to like go in and force in the open. But, you know, it's not that bad. Pretty cool, I would say. Hmm. I mean, if there was one card that I wanted to open the most, at common level, it would be um, at the common level it would be Topple. Other than that, Blitzstone. Blitzstone's really good. Uncommon, I'd probably just I want to open like Merciless Officer and then try to draft the Hoover Value deck. The rares, there's just so many good rares. I mean, actually, let's pull up a list of all the rares in the set. I want all of the rares and legendaries from Revelations. Go. Let's see here. Houndmaster would be really good. Scorcher would be really good. Hellfire Valkyrie would be really good, yeah. I did open and play a Callous Triggerman. That card was really good too. I would also take Doomsday. Could I make Doomsday Assembly work? Maybe. Kanya. Kanya's probably a house in draft. Last Carnosaur would be fun. I don't know how good Valiant Guardian is. We got our game. Other than that, Manacles would be really good. Kako would be really good. This hand is awful. Guardian Angel. High. Awakened Master. This hand is better. I'm going to keep it. I'm not excited, but I wonder how good Jufi is. Primal got some buffs, but I can see myself like taking Elding and just being like, yeah, let's play a fun little value deck. Okay. This hand's good though. It's got Overcharger and Sight Slash to help punch through Minotaur Grunt into like whatever damage, whatever they've got going on their side. I'm still going to lead on Grunt because Warcry bonuses are really powerful. Yeah, this is fine. I'm actually going to topple this Ursa Squadron because this card is really good. Like, for however good Minotaur Grunt is, Ursa Squadron is better. And sure, I traded a 3-cost card for a 2-cost card, but they do not act the same. Okay, so they topple my guy, then they hit me for 1, sure. I do like this, but I'd rather put this on something else. So I'm going to play Treasury Guard. Treasury Guard can stonewall this troops, but I'm getting the feeling that I'm just going to let this thing through. Right, so they found their time eventually, so they're going to Amber Lock, and then they're going to draw another Sigil and say go. Okay, that's fine. Let's attack. I don't think they're going to block. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to block. I'm just going to play Bladekin Apprentice and say go. I don't have to play this commando yet either. But you're going to have a hard time blocking any of my units. Ooh, a 5-cost unit. Man, I'd love to be able to do this and this. I don't think I can. I could probably Overcharger this and then see how they block. Sure, let's do that. I don't think that this is not the 06. The 06 is the 3-cost. They block here. I think this is the Alchemist. But I do want to get it off the table. So I will Sight Slash. I won't do anything here. Yeah. Had a feeling. So I'll just say go. And my Bladekin Apprentice is very powerful. This is a Populous Controller. An Eager Offering. A 2/6 Eager Offering. Well, that's annoying as hell. Oh, into a topple. Okay, so they had 2 topples. I mean, I can't beat 2 topples. I'm just gonna say go. I mean, use this card to get the buff on too. Where did this get the buff from? Oh, did they get the buff from Alchemist? Well, joke's on you. I have a 4/2. Blitzstone. Oh, Blitzstone's actually great. I'll Blitzstone this. Their 1/4 can't block my 4/2. Well, I guess that's a lie. They could have lots of things. They could have had a Finest Hour. Alright. Please don't be Sauropod. Okay, it's ornamental daggers. I can deal with an ornamental daggers. I'm not excited about it, but I can deal with an ornamental daggers. Make it 2/5? Absolutely. You got it, friend. And they tinkered, and they have one card in hand. They have 2 Amber Locks. Orange Jailer. They can't attack for 2, though. So, I think I'm going to overcharge this, make them double block. Because, like, they can do this double block. Oh, they're just going to single block. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just going to Retribution the Jailer. A 2/5 is a more annoying body, but the Jailer would be the more annoying card in the long run. I also can't attack willy-nilly, which is great. Don't be like a... Okay, they're going to draw another card. Sure. Okay. So they spent their turn drawing cards. Well, that doesn't do anything anymore. I think I play Vanguard. Attack for both. They take 2, go to 10. They eat the 4/2 and take 3, going to 7. Which, again, is not great for me, but I just need to get them dead. I just need to get them dead. Uh-oh. What are you turn backing time? Topple? Probably? Yeah, okay. Topple's fine. You can topple my 3, sure. You paid 6 power to kill my 3 power guy. Ooh, into Ancient Lore, that's pretty good for you. And attack for 2. Rune is cool. I'm just going to play this Grenamotive and say go. It can get toppled again. 5/5 Ursa Squadron. Into a 2/5 Curator. Jesus. Take 2. Well, now, if I Rune of Law and attack, this would be an 8. That's fine. 6/8. Block, sure. Okay. They attack for 5 with their Ursa Squadron. But again, how'd this Curator get +1/+1? That's what I want to know. I don't have to attack. I'll just play the Sellsword and skip and say go. Now I've got 2 units. Now they gotta be afraid of things. Orange Jailer is annoying. How? Oh, that got +1/+1 from that guy, sure. What? Got regen, so. What do I do? If I Rune and attack, they have to chomp. I think that's the line. Otherwise they can go to 1 and then I can jump. Okay. So then they need a unit or a removal spell. They would need 2 cards to kill me. No blocks. Great. Love it. Okay. Obstructor, away this, play this, play my treasure trove, draw a card. I have something. It's a fire sigil. I'll just play Furnace Mage, destroy that. I forgot that they had a thing on, so. Say go. So I have 4 lethal attackers, and they have 3 units. They have decided to attack. I will block, and I will block. And I will take 1. There's no overwhelm tricks. Okay, that's 1. I go to 3. Do they have 2 units? Whoo! Got there. That was close. Man. By a razor's edge, we got to 7 wins. By a razor's edge. Let's take a look at the deck again. Export it. So, I think 15 power was definitely correct. We were just so aggressive. So a lot of our draws were live at the end of the game. Like Debt Cannon also would have been a live draw for us at the end of that game. I think the draft was a little wonky too. Like we just ended up in Rakano. Like we took a what did we take? What did we take first? I even forgot what we took first. I just remember that wasn't that great. It might have been it might have been a topple, and then no, that's where we got past this Justice Cup. That's what it was. I meing, hell, sometimes the best things you can do is just draft aggro and end up, 7-2ing a draft with the Rakano aggro deck. Ooh, fancy. All right. You know what? As a reward, chat. As a reward, because I see the 2 of you who are in here, as a reward, we're going to open some packs. Alright, goes Eternity, Shielded Line. This card's also in the draft pack, so this card's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be good or show up often, but this card can win the games. Let's open another one. Let's open some more packs. What do we got? Ooh, Condemn. I am very happy these aren't in the draft packs. Very happy. Then the Dusk Road. This was the first set that I wrote about. Crests are really good and constructed, but honestly, they're very good and limited too. Just being multi-faction and scouting when you play them is really good. Let's go this out for the OCD and all of us. I don't have a break screen, but I am going to take a quick break, and I will be right back. I'm back. I'm just messing around, doing some things. Wait, no, back. Import. Let's draft. Yeah. There we go, that's what I wanted. Here we go. Didn't want you just seeing things moving around and being like, what's going on? So, alright, let's go back out. Let's go back to... No, I don't want to see this deck. It's a draft deck. It's not good. Alright. So, how do we feel about drafting again? Got 3 more of these draft tickets to burn. So, let's open up a cold one and see what we get. Okay. This pack is interesting. So, Insider of Madness is really expensive, but it is really strong. It is worth 7 mana. You do need your opponent to have units, and you do steal, but you steal them randomly. That's usually good enough. However, I don't really like playing too many decks with 7 drops in them in this format. And I'm not sure Insider is worth it. Turn for the Worst looks like a good removal spell, but it's not that good. It's nice, but I'm not super interested in it. Clanging Scavenger is not a multi-faction card that's going to drag me into Xenon. And Obstructive Flicker is interactive, but it's just not that impactful. So I'm not interested in the top row at all. Which brings me down to the commons. I'm immediately not interested in taking Spiky Grenadin or Miasma first. Concealed Veteran is worse than Controller and Shackles, so I'm not considering it. Staunch Protector is fine, but it's not a card that's going to want to draw me into Justice. So then that leaves Shackles, Operative, Controller, and Anoa's Fury. I don't want to draft Fire for Anoa's Fury. So I think I'm just going to take the card that has the biggest blow-up potential, which is Shackles. And I just think that Shackles is not very good is the thing. Well, sorry. Shackles is very good. I just don't know if it's pack 1 pick 1-able. Otherwise, I'm looking at taking this Deep Cover Operative, which is fine. But I have, this is an interesting pack, to say the least. But not sure what to take. I think I'm going to take Deep Cover Operative. It draws a card when it hits them. Sure, you take a damage. But I don't want to take an Insider of Madness. Like, it just costs so much mana. Or power. Alright, what do we get here? So the rare's gone. There's an Ursa Squadron, so I'm going to take Ursa Squadron. I don't think Constructor's very good. It costs 7. If it was like a 3-cost 4-2, or like a 3-cost 4-3, or a 4-cost 4-3, then I'd be interested. As a 7-cost 7-5, that gives you bonus when you play a relic, you may not have any relics in play. Disgrace Cadet's also interesting. But again, I don't want to take this, and Valkyrie Station I just don't think's there. The pick is for me between Inquisitive Alchemist and Ursa Squadron. Ursa Squadron's just better all around. So I'm going to take it. What do we get here? Well, there's Queen's Elite, which was a great card in our previous deck, and then there's also just this Blitzstone. And we drafted Rakona last time, and I swear I'm just trying to... Okay, well... There's sent a message which we tried to draft last time, which didn't work out. There's also just a Topple and a Blitzstone, and Topple is better than Blitzstone, so I'm going to take Topple. Ooh. I have had fun with Stormhawk Concoction. We're not quite there. I'm going to take this other Topple. I'm also interested in Rune of Flame, but I'm just going to take another Topple. Alright, now I'm taking the Concoction. Now I'm going to take the Concoction. Because it's better than Blitzstone. Well, it's not better than Blitzstone. I enjoy drafting the Blitzstone deck, or this deck, more than the Blitzstone deck. Otherwise, I think it's just Foot Soldier. But I'm going to draft Concoction, and I'm going to see if we can make it work. Saying that, then we get Rune of Law. Geyser's been fine, but it's unexciting. I guess I'll just take Immunity here. Protector, I guess. I'll take Rooted Observer. If we end up in Huru. There we go. There we go. Alright. And then we open Sandstorm Titan. Sandstorm Titan is, for those who don't know, one of the meanest cards in all of Eternal. It is a 4-cost 5/6, as you can see, with Endurance. And instead of having a downside, it has an upside. Units can't fly. Like... Is it... Time was not that open in the first pack. Is Sandstorm Titan worth throwing away all of our cards that aren't Time, or that aren't Justice, to then draft Combrei because of Sandstorm Titan? The other card I'm considering is Stalking Cyberfang. If Sandstorm Titan hits the battlefield, the game slows down. It does just get toppled, though. And if they're playing Justice, they're gonna have topples. I have my playset, and I would love to play Sandstorm Titan in draft, but I'm gonna pass it, and I'm gonna take Stalking Cyberfang. And I'm gonna get yelled at. But that's okay. We'll cut this, we'll cut this. Fantastic, here we are. Fluctuate's interesting. Rebuke's interesting. Shield Bash is also interesting. I don't really want to play Shield Bash, though. I think I take Fluctuate here. Deafening Word is not good. I will take Lightning Strike out of this pack. Ensnare is also a consideration, but the times that this is actually going to, do the thing is very low. So I'm going to take Lightning Strike. Permafrost over Cyberfang. Permafrost. I will take another Permafrost. Alright, Primal was open, so yeah, we're good. Roland's Favor's great. Little C, Drifting Drone, or Flash Freeze. I think I like Flash Freeze. I'll take Exotic Purchase. Huru Fledgling is fine. I'll take Overcharger now. Read the Runes is fine, but I'm going to put that in the board, and I'll play Treasury Guard. Again, I don't like 7-drops is the big thing. 7-drops are just way too much power that I'm willing to spend. Ring of Focus is interesting. I think I'm just going to take Sire's Beckoning. It makes 2 units. Ooh. So there's Spire Chaplain. So 3 power, 3/3. Whenever it attacks, you draw a Justice Sigil. It is pretty good with what we've got going on. There's also Forbidden Tree, which is Berserk and Regen. It's a 6/3, and then when you can amplify it, you make an enemy unit reckless. So basically, you can basically use it to eat a guy without it having killer. But again, if we get to 7, we're winning the game at that point. And I think we're going to win the game with these concoctions. So I'm going to take Spire Chaplain. We're not playing Deathwing. I will play Cyberfang here. Traveler's Fair is interesting as well, but it's 6 to play and then 6 to activate. That's 12 total power over 2 turns. You're just not going to... In this format, you're just not going to have those windows. Ice Bow is interesting, but I think I'm going to take another Cyberfang. Ooh, I think I like Cartographer over Finest Hour. That might be a little controversial, but again, we don't have that many units, and we want 2s. Privilege of Rank. How much discard do we have? We have 1. We have 1. So I'm just going to take Flash Freeze. Here I'm going to take Wild Rider. I'll take another Cyberfang. I'll take Valley Clan Sage here. It's an 0/5. It blocks. We're not playing these cards. We're not playing Deputy. We're not playing Favorite. Okay. And we are paid off beautifully. Valise is fantastic. It's fantastic and constructed. It's fantastic and limited. Yes, we'll take Valise. Orange Jailer or Shockwave Elemental. I think it's Orange Jailer. This card is insane. I think I'm actually going to take Grizzled Guard here over Orange Jailer too because of how well Grizzled Guard plays with Stronghold Concoction. Having Aegis is really important for that type of strategy. I'll take Inquisitive Alchemist. Do I want the 3rd Topple or Gnashing Displacer? I think I like Displacer over the 3rd Topple. I'll take Pennant. I don't want to play it though. I'll take Hyena. I'll take Freight Asri. I'll take Freight Asri. Take Recycle. Cut it. Take Troops. Okay. This is not a good version of Uru. Keep that. I don't think we're playing that anymore. I don't think we're playing both of those anymore. We're not playing those. I can make a market. Put that in the market. Add some power. Make some cuts. Cut Fledgling. Cut Wild Rider. Cut Treasury Guard. I don't know if I need the hyenas. I've only got one hyena. And then we go to the market for our spells. I can put Beckoning in there. We're definitely putting Read the Runes in there. We can put Flash Freeze in there. Then Concoction. So since we only have one Stormhawk Concoction, I'm fine putting it in the market. But our main game plan is going to be real sketchy. Real sketchy. Okay, let's see if we can get there. I wanted to see more Stormhawk Concoctions, but sadly we only saw the one. Albazoo. Fantastic. Come join the club. This hand is awful. This hand is good. This hand is good. Squadron into Jailer, into later Alchemist. Direfang Spider. Now I'm just gonna loot. Goodbye, Alchemist. Get your bonus. I think some people really want to play Alchemist as a 4/4, but it also just does things. Yep, that's fine. I don't mind that. Thank God you didn't mill me. I'll attack. You're not going to trade. I want to play Urza Squadron, say go. What I want to find off the top is a Cyberfang. Ideally a Cyberfang that has gotten, like, a whole bunch of buffs. No, I'll take two. This is acceptable. Oh. Well then. For those who don't know, Valise has this ability that says when you attack with exactly 2 units, they get +1/+1 and overwhelm, and then you loot. So yes, I'm going to lose one of my units, presumably, to this Direfang Spider. They could block here and here, I lose both of my units, they lose their spider, they lose the region on the replicated sellsword, and then that turns off my Valise for a little bit. But they chose a different line, which is interesting to me. So they might be thinking they're going to be able to use this Direfang Spider to eat my Valise. Joke's on them. They're not going to. Sure. I'm going to play my Primal Sigil. I'm going to play Aura Jailer, and then you're not going to have any power, and you're not going to have any power. And then I'm going to attack with 2 units. Not only is my Valise going to get pumped, but my Aura Jailer is going to get pumped. And they give me the nice play. Ooh. Yeah, I'll discard Rune of Law, because I now have a 2/7. And then yes, I go. And then now I can use Exotic Purchase to get my Concoction, which can't win the game this turn, but it can win the game next turn. Varas favor me, you got it, homie. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toughness, and next turn I'm going to be attacking for 13 overwhelm damage. Sidearm. Well, that's more. Okay. I think I just purchased for concoction here. Like, a concoction. I'll play this Primal Sigil, and then I'll say go. Because I don't want to expose anything to this deadly unit. And then I'm just going to jump this Orange Jailer and attack with this Invalise. Then this is going to be 7, 8, 9 power in the air. Oh. I think it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Okay, so let's see here. By concoction here, that's 10 power in the air. This will be a 6/6. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then however much that is. Okay, so if instead I concoction here, that's going to be 7, 8, 9, and this is going to be a 7. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the rest. It should still in the game though. I'm also looting this entire time. I do not want reliable troops. So they need whatever's under the stealth unit to have more than 0 toughness or 0 health. Yep, trade your board for it. Foraging Trito, yeah, absolutely. And then they go to 1. And I draw a Topple, a Primal Sigil, a Primal Sigil. They get a 1/1 Deadly. I play this and say go. And then I actually have enough power next turn to pop purchase for Flash Freeze to freeze their team and attack. So they need to play 2. Their 2 cards need to be 2 units. Permafrost is also good. So play this. Pop purchase. Get Flash Freeze. Boop, boop. Attack. Okay, maybe this deck's good. Maybe this deck's good. Alex Fear. I have run into Alex multiple times today, and I've got my butt kicked. Every time. Is this the same deck? Didn't I play them earlier with an Arbalest deck? Or was that a different deck? No, that was a different deck, because they weren't fire. Oh, let's go. I was about to say, if you're gonna size swap... Okay, Orin Brute, yeah, that's fine. Orin Brute is a hella annoying card. I do want to play that on 2, so I'm gonna ditch a Sigil. Ditch a Sigil, excuse me. No blocks. I don't want to trade this for that. Okay. I'll play this. Topple that. Then I'm not blocking, so might as well be attacking. Now they're going to play Arbalest, presumably, if they have their second Justice. Which they may not. Scrap Metal Fury, okay. Well. That card is annoying, but I don't plan on winning on the ground. So, alright. This aggression needs to stop. The downside is that this is going to get toppled if it's there. Yeah, I will trade here. And if they have an Notice Fury, they have an Notice Fury. I'll just permafrost it next turn. Scythe Slash. Okay, so they're going to draw 6 1/1s with Decay. Okay. It's annoying as hell. I might permafrost this Ticking Grenadin, but I do have Face Aegis, so I am moderately protected from that. Then play a couple of those. Sure thing. Oh, well, I'll just play Gnashing Displacer and say go. Yeah, I know you got a lot of wrestlings in your hand, so get them out. Get them out while the getting's good. I will block, and I will block, and I will take 2. Boop, 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 boop. I take no damage. Alchemist is nice. I think I just play Alchemist and say go. Like, they have to have, like, a rally or something. If they have rally, I'm dead. But might as well block. No rally. Okay, so they're putting me to 6. They could have the deal 6. They could have Lava Burst. Okay. Alright, well. I couldn't beat that hand. I couldn't beat that hand. There wasn't really anything I could do to beat that. So I'm not upset. I think I played fine. It's just sometimes in draft your opponents have starts like that. And their deck was great. Hats off to them. This deck would love a second concoction. It would love a second concoction. And the big thing to remember about Lava Burst is that Aegis can't stop it, and it can't be negated. So there was no way for me to actually interact with that card. I guess blocking more aggressively earlier would have done it, but I don't think that's the answer. This hand's awful. It's got Permafrost, but that's about it. This hand's better. Great. But it's better. So it's just there on the play. They could play like a 2-drop that I get to Lightning Strike. Or better yet, I get to play Ursa Squadron. Shadow. Raging Jackal. Well, I'm going to play my Ursa Squadron. Say go. Sure, they can Blitzstone me, but not blocking. My card's better than yours. Vanguard. Well, I will attack. You're not going to block. And I will topple your Vanguard. I think the additional chip damage it deals is just way too good. In my opinion. Moldermuck. That card's not fun. I'm gonna have to chew through this thing so bad. I just like this card enough in draft. Well, they're gonna try and kill my dude. I'm just gonna deal 4 to them. I need my Ursa Squadron to live. It's unfortunate, but I need it to live. Like this, I dislike Moldermuck in Constructed. You can imagine how I feel about it in freaking Limited. Oh, please hit my stealth unit. Oh, well, that's fine too. Well, that tells me you don't have any tricks, so I'm just going to block and take my lumps. Okay. Unit? No, that's not a unit. Damn it. So if I attack, they can block. Well, let's attack. I don't think I'm winning this game, but you can't expect me to beat a Moldermuck. Okay, so they're gonna attack for this is 5 damage when they attack. Oh, they have another Det Cannon. So that puts me to 6. This is 5. So this has any amount of power. I'm dead. Yeah. Not nothing, nothing I could do about that. Like, yeah. Unless I had a topple right there, I could. There's no way I was beating that Moldermuck. No way I was beating Moldermuck. Man, Moldermuck is just such a house. I know no business. No business in that game. None. Whatsoever. Kind of ridiculous, but hey, it's the world we live in. Could I have blocked more aggressively? Maybe I should have just snapped off the. Oh, that was the previous game. What about this game? I guess I had to block more aggressively. Save the topple and not kill the Vanguard? And then save it for the Moldermuck? But that would be so far behind in entirely different ways. That's close. That's real close. I have no idea. That's very close, though. I don't know. This deck felt fine on that first win. The first win, it felt amazing. We just got ran the hell over by these Stone Scar decks. Hello! Welcome. You're about to watch us scrub out. This might be fine. This deck is 1-3. The previous one was 7-2, which is fun. I'll post that on Twitter later. However, I am really relying on this Master Cartographer for finding me justice. Highly reliant is one way to put it. We've played at Blongno a couple of times today. Obviously, they're a good drafter. They're 10th in ranked. Deck, I wanted the Justice Sigil, not a Justice card. Okay. I think no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to bin one of these Ossuary off of this Master Cartographer. But I would really like to find a Justice Sigil right now. They're going to mill me. Yep. Well, it wasn't a Justice Sigil, so I'm not mad. Just disappointed. I'm going to actually play the Sage, because it can block. There's no justice right now. No justice at all. I will block. Ravenous Thorn Beast to make a 5/5? Sure. Justice! That's not justice. Alright, Will Cartographer. That is justice. Bye-bye Freight Ossuary. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do with it. So I'm fine hiding it for a turn, I think. No, they see Staunch Protector in my Void, so they know it's there. But yeah, this this Thorn Beast is definitely going to get toppled. I'll take 5. I'll go to 20. What's your follow-up? Collapse? Ransack. No, Ransack! My cards. They're my cards. Alright, well, topple that. Get my attacks in while I can. I also know that they drew one of my powers. So my guess is they probably drew a stealth unit, maybe? Maybe? This Freight Ossuary is going to do some work. Okay, that's fine. Well, Valise is good. Don't know if she's good now. I'm going to attack because they're going to want to, yeah, they're going to want to block with this when they can make a 4/3. Then I'm going to play Freight Ossuary and just kind of buff up the defenses a little bit. No, yeah, I get that. Thankfully, the app on the phone is pretty good. I found that's how I've gotten most of my play in, just not on my laptop. and I think this app is better than Arena, mainly because Arena has the problem of just having too much stuff, in my opinion. I'm not going to do any value of this Rune of Law. Hypnotic Siren or Hypnotic Valkyrie is a card that needs to die, so I am going to topple it. I'm also going to attack again because they're not going to want to block, because again they're going to want to make the 4/3 here. Oh yeah. Well, there you go. I made top 64 on mobile, but I definitely played on my computer when the Open came around 2 weeks ago. What they don't know is that a Valise is about to hit them like a brick house. Also, what are they timed for? Because the time schedules they didn't get from my deck. Maybe they're time for like Shackles. Oh, D'Angelo might. All right. Yeah, drawing 3 cards is fine for 5. It's not exciting, but it's fine. Okay. Well, now they can make the 4/3. But I'm just gonna play Valise and attack with these two. Yes, the Ursa Squadron. I'll get rid of this Primal Sigil. Yes, the Ursa Squadron would be better because it would be Warcrying, but I don't want to trade this for the Racketeers. Then I'll just play Sigil and pass. Alright, what do you got? What do you got? Oh, Fluctuate? Oh, okay. Well, Azalea is going to be a problem, but it's not much of a problem. Oh, I made my top 4 with Praxis, I'm sure you saw. Praxis with Hellfire Valkyries and Azrogs. Azrog is a house of a card limited. I did also, I'll take 6 here. I did also top 8 with, oh, not top 8. What's the word I'm thinking of? I don't have any 6-drops in this deck, do I? If I pitch it to Whispering Wind, do I draw? No, I don't have any 6-drops in this deck. Okay. I actually opened a premium Hellfire Valkyrie, in one of my drafts, and I got to play it, which was great. All right, we'll pitch Cyber Hyena. Oh, there we go. So this is how we're gonna win the game. So I'm gonna take 6. They might play another unit. I'm just gonna play Inquisitive Alchemist and say go. It is great when friends do well. It's just such a good feeling. Wait. Where'd they get this Azalea from? Oh, that's right, they fluctuated reality. I was confused there for a minute. No, I'll take 6. This is fine. Controller's Glaive. Oh, and that thing. Sure. Okay. So, we're going to... I don't think we're winning with Stormhalt Concoction. I also don't think we're winning by attacking this turn. I think I'm going to Exotic Purchase for Flash Freeze. I am going to attack, pitch this Sigil. Well, hey, that's a good card. I am definitely blocking this turn. This 05 was meant for blocking. It was also meant for drawing the top card of our deck, but... Oh, what is this? Oh, it's a rune. Sure. I will block. So keeping the 8/6 back. Okay. Play that. I don't think reading the runes is going to be good for me. Is it better to attack, play like Displacer? Maybe? This is tricky. Yeah, I think I like attacking, not discarding. I take one, then I play Gnashing Displacer, say go. That way, this is lethal, period. And then, if they play multiple, if they do that single attack like they did last time, then I can use Flash Freeze to make sure that I win the game. Oh, they're double attacking? Well, I will block and block. They have no Overwhelm tricks in their deck. Okay, that's fine. I attack. I will discard my Sigil for Lightning Strike. I'm not sure what they could have. Desert Alchemist doesn't save them, but they don't know that. They would need a destroy target attacking creature for it to do anything. Shackles. Shackles is fine. Shackles is a one-time thing. Insanity, I will ban you if you decide to do that again. If you decide to be really juvenile, I will do it. Is it a bit stuttery? I'm not sure how to fix that, unfortunately. I know it's been a problem in the past. I did a test earlier and it sounded okay, but what is this? Ransack? No, how dare you? They're my cards. Give them back. Oh. Boop, boop. Stop attacking. Yeah, that is the problem with audio stuttering, because I've had it in the past where, essentially, if I stop talking, then it'll just stop doing, and it's just, this is not a feasible solution! No, I'm not gonna loot. My hand is great. Overthrow. Okay, that's a solution, but you still take one going to 4. You know what this is, because you bounced it last turn. And then I can beat any single unit. Alright, we go to attacks. And I'll pitch this power. That's actually good for me. And we did it. Whew! That was a grind. That was quite the grind. I was expecting this deck to go 1-3. And instead we're 2-3. Huzzah! Alright, let's play another game. Thankfully, their deck was also slow and dirtily, whereas ours was not. So. Well, no, ours is also slow and dirtily, I should say. Again, I wish this deck had, like, another concoction so I didn't have to market the other one, or the only one I have. My other 7-win draft was with a similar deck. And using Stormhawk Concoction is just ridiculous. I had 4 Cyberfangs, I had a lot of other really good cards, but I dealt 10 damage and drew 10 cards thanks to Stormhawk Concoction and Stalking Cyberfang in one game. And unsurprisingly, I won that game. So, that is neat and nifty. And for everyone who's running late, I did have an earlier draft that was Rakano Aggro. Oh, I had like 12 before I started prepping for this tournament. 12. I used them all. So Lazard was somebody I played twice in a row last draft. I think I'll keep this hand. Valley Clan Sage can block a lot, so. And I may be relying on them to block a lot. Grizzled Guard is a great draw. It's great for 5. Yeah, there's a deal right now. Why is everybody ransacking? They're my cards. I want them. They're my cards and I need them now. I'm gonna roll in its favor. Ransack is really good as a discard outlet, and it's just annoying. There is nothing worse in Magic than having your card stolen. Same thing for Ransacks. Like, there's nothing worse than just being like, I'm going to take this card, and guess what? I'm going to play it now too. No, but they're my cards, Ninja. I don't want them to have them. They're my cards. They don't need my cards. This is fine. So their Vara Saber is going to kill my hyena. My hyena has, when I die, draw a card. Oh, I wish my cards sucked. I wish my cards were awful. I will play 2 creatures. Or 2 units. Yeah, that's my preferred method as well, but Ransack is very good as a discard outlet. Which is why they discarded their Alchemist, which when they discarded it, gave their Orange Jailer +2/+2 and made it a 5/5. Which is really bad for me. Just no good, very bad time. Stealth unit. Okay, so what is this stealth unit? I guess I could figure that out. What's my plan? Is my plan to Orange Jailer? No, I think I'm going to Grizzled Guard. Then my Grizzled Guard lets me, when I block, all my blocking units get +2 health. No, don't. No, dang it. Dinger. No bonuses for me. Now I just have a 4/4. Well, now it's a 6/6. Now I'm just going to chump block this. Oh, it's not a chump block. Fantastic. I'm still taking 6, though. Am I afraid, Asri? No! How dare you? How could you do this to me? Well, I'm going to detain these 2. That way I can make my Orange Jailer a 4/4. Or cry the top card of my deck. Yeah, I am very far behind this game. Yeah. Ideally, you want to play your Alchemist as a 4/4 and then trade it off, but they were able to get so far ahead thanks to pitching it to Ransack, growing their Orange Jailer to a 5/5. No, yeah, Insanity, taking a lot of damage is not preferred. My Stalking Cyberfang, why? Taking a lot of damage, not preferred. Not a good time. Well, let's Cartographer, I guess. Discard our Alchemist. Play this. Play Spire Chaplain. And we're just going to die, unfortunately. We're not having a good time. Very, very good time this time. Well, that's exciting, Ninja. I know you were working with my friends at Marriott. So I'm happy that you're moving on and doing things that you want to do. I, on the other hand, got promoted out of the pandemic and now have a lot more responsibility, which means that there's a lot that I got to do now. Ooh. Reality fluctuating, you say? 1, 2, 3. Let's shrink all your guys. Ah. So they now have an 0/1 flying that gets +2 when it has a weapon. A 2/2 decay that gets better when they play more sentinels. I don't think their deck has many more of those. And then this card's actually good. I guess I say go. Well, Ninja, they wanted to promote you because you did good. You did a good job, which means that they wanted you to succeed. So, on the one hand, sucks for them, but on the other hand, I'm glad that you are moving on to bigger and better things. God, and they get a Druid Justice Sigil? That's unfair. Oh no. Not like this. Not like this. If I can draw... Oh, well, never mind then. Never mind then. Oh, I'm so dead. I need to draw from the heavens off the top of my deck. This is not from the heavens. But I will get my value. Well, that is really cool and awesome. I'm glad for you for that. I've got some friends who are, they had their first kid 2 months ago. We got to see them um, on Friday. Kid's doing well, mom's doing well. Apparently, their kid is only 2.5 months old, but the kid is in 6-month-old clothing. Kid's growing really fast. All right, let's open this pack as a treat. Well, that's nice. Too bad this card's not really good. Let's clear this out. And you know what? You know what? Well, that's a big boy. That is a big boy. Let's draft again. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what we have here. Wow. Again, the last draft, we literally opened this exact same rare. Insider of Madness is really good. It's really powerful. However, I don't like 7-drops. I absolutely don't like them in this format. This format is way too aggressive for that. Toxic Cloud is interesting. I actually got to blow out an opponent with this card because they hit me and I actually discarded this guy and made a 4-3 after they hit me, which was fun. The best cards in this pack are probably Mod Ready Drone, which is either a 3-mana 3/3 or a 3-mana 2/2 flyer. So that's nice. Open Way Supplier, which is only a 2-power 1/1, but it gives you +1 maximum power, and the top unit of your deck gets Killer, which is either good or bad because depending on if it's a big unit, it's great. If it's a small unit, it's not great. But I'm going to take Recruitment Effort. So this says the first time a player discards a card each turn, you make a 2/2. And then if you already have a 2/2, yeah, I know, insanity. It takes a little bit getting used to. If you already have a 2/2, you give it +2/+2 instead. So every time you discard a card beyond the first, it goes to a 4/4, then a 6/6, and so on. So I'm going to take Recruitment Effort and try and draft around it. Otherwise, I think I would be taking like Rune of Flame. What do we got here? Oh, well, I'm going to take Inquisitive Alchemist. It goes well with the discard theme. It's also Justice. Yeah, it's kind of an amass too. Kind of an amass too. Ring of Glamour is cool as a build around, but it is multi-faction, so it's not great. So I'm just going to take Inquisitive Alchemist here. Well, Blitzstone's the best card in the pack. It also just Reliable Troops, as well as Minister of Obeyance. Minister is really good because it has, if you get to 8, you get to play it, and then you get to kick it, and play Inspire Obedience, which is kill an enemy unit, and then your units get +1 power until end of turn. So that's nice. But I think I'm going to take Reliable Troops and try and stay on Mono Justice. Otherwise, I'll be taking Blitzstone and moving in. Here's another discard card, Ransack. It goes best with Recruitment Effort. Neither of these Justice cards are really great. Otherwise, I'm taking Open Way Supplier or the Rune of Illusion. The runes are all great. They're basically land for those of you who play Magic with Multi-Kicker 5 that casts a spell. In this case, your creatures get lifelink and unblockable. But I'm going to take Ransack because it goes well with Recruitment Effort. Okay, this is an interesting choice. We can either take Shadowpath Intimidator, which either mills a player for 2, or you can make a creature not block. And then there's also Deep Cover Operative, which is just a stealth unit, so essentially you just don't know what it is. And then whenever you hit them, you draw a card and take a damage. But I'm going to take Intimidator, because I am very aggressive about self-milling myself. Speaking of discard outlets, we get Afflictor. it's not the 1 power 1/1 shadow uncommon we want, but it's still very annoying because you can just discard a card to give units -1/-1 forever. I'm going to take Awakening here over Ransack. Awakening lets you discard a card to play 2 1/1s with Valor, which is essentially Bushido. I'll take Leatherhide here. It's the only card for me. I'll take Glen Pathcutter. This has the text, if you have a Shadow Influence and discard it, you give a unit in your hand +2 strength. I'll take another Intimidator. Here's, oh wow. This is a 11th pick Glensapper. Glensapper is insane. So it's a 1 power 1/1 flyer. And then you can ultimate, which you can only do once. You can pay 6 and discard your hand to play 2 Shadowsea Slimes that are X-axis or X number of units in your void. So Glensapper is insane. I have seen 11/11s be made. I've made 10/10s. I'm going to take this expertise and put it away. So one of the reasons that I lost a match is because of Moldermuck. Moldermuck is annoying. Otherwise, I'd be taking Deathwing. But Moldermuck it's essentially a 4/4 Wither that whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to itself, so it becomes a 3/3, and then you make a copy of itself. So it attacks as a 3/3, and then it makes another 3/3 with Decay. Yeah, this is one of the community design cards. If you stream a lot or watch a lot of streams, you can get a lot of community influence points, and then you can submit a card design to Direwolf Digital and make it. I know that Mercurio Blue made the... Hold on. I can find it. I have it in my collection. He made the Fox. I think it's called a Fox, yeah. Mercurio Blue made Thieving Fox, which is a 2/2 unblockable, while the enemy player has more cards in their hand than you, and then once you hit them, you look at the top card of their deck, and you can either draw it or draw the card below it. So I know Merc made that one. Let's get back in the draft, and let's take Moldermuck, because it's just the pick. Just far and away. It is so annoying. I don't know if I want to play Time. Seed of Mystery is nice flash. I'm just going to take Avara's Favor. It deals 1 damage, it gains you a life, it draws you a Shadow Sigil. There's not much more you could want. I don't have much units for the most part, so I'm going to take Copperhall Porter. It's 2 power 2/1, then when it dies, I draw a Justice Sigil, so that's good. I'm going to take Cutthroat. It's the only card on my factions. Okay, this is better. I'm going to take... Wait, what does this card do? Pay 1 and sacrifice Shamebearer to play a -3 Mark of Shame. No, I don't want that. I want to take Fatal Misstep. It only kills a unit that went into play this turn, but it does make both players discard, which is good for a recruitment effort. I'll take Bastion Boltcrafter here. I don't know if I'm playing it. Okay, these are some good cards, but I think I'm going to... So Banished Umbran is a pay 5 mill 2. But I'm going to take Bannerman because it fixes our influence. So that I could have a hand with Shadow, and Bannerman and still be able to play my Justice cards. Vizier's Tablet is interesting. However, it only makes them discard, and I want myself to discard. I don't want them to discard. But I guess with recruitment effort, it's not that bad. I'll take Arcane Defense. I don't want to play it. I'll take Dive Bomb. Ideally, I don't play it. Alright. What do we get here? Well, technically, this does discard. This does do self-mill. Otherwise, I'm taking, like, Subvert. Draw a random card from their hand. Sure, I'll take Chairman's Contract. I'm cool self-milling. I don't have that many units. I do want more, and Blackguard's Sidearm, giving +2/+1 and essentially First Strike is really good. But I think I'm going to take the Covenant Peacekeeper. It's essentially just, you know, Frostlinks, your whatever effect you're familiar with, so I'm going to take it. Oh, Secret Passage is really good. I underrated Secret Passage, and I thought it was just not something I was interested in. But it lets you give your units unblockable and lets them get in. And you can pay 2 and you have to lose it at the end of the turn, but if I'm doing it with like my Awakened Soldiers from recruitment effort, I'm probably okay with it. Otherwise, I'm taking Junk Obstructor, but I think my ones, for the most part, are all better. I'll take Secret Passage. I'm not taking a second secret passage, unfortunately. I will take the Sanguine Sword, though. Maybe I don't play it, but... Ooh, Darkwater Vine. Darkwater Vines is great. So it's a 1/1 with regen. So the first time it takes damage, it just ignores it. And then whenever a player discards a card, it becomes a 2/1, and then each player discards 4 more cards. It's much better in Constructed, but I'll still play it. So Knife Jack is interesting as a 1-power 2/2 that just nugs you for 2. But my ones are already really good. I've got a discard outlet, I've got a discard card, I've got cards that are being cared about discarding. I have a 1/1 flyer that makes huge units. I'm going to take an Argenport Banner. It fixes my power. It's a double faction card, so that's good for me. I'm going to take Reinforced Baton. Relic weapons are essentially removal, so I don't think I'll play it, but you never know. Alright, I'll take Elder's Feather. This card in the beta used to be a +1/+1. They eventually saw the error of their ways and made it +1/+0. I'll take Metabot Station. I'd rather not play it, however. I'll take Ensnare. I'll take Town Watchman. I might play Town Watchman. I might play Obstructor as well. What do we got here? So we got Inquisitive Alchemist and Shadowpath Intimidator. Those are the only 2 cards I'm looking at. Yeah, it's still decent. And how many discard outlets do I have? I've got 1 discard outlet. This is technically a discard outlet. These are discard outlets, but I have no control over those. This card cares about being discarded. I'm going to take another Alchemist, because it has another card that cares about being discarded. Valkyrie Station is interesting. I'm not interested in it, however. I'm going to take Rune of Law over Minister here. I'll take another Inquisitive Alchemist. Ooh. So Hypnotic Valkyrie is a 5-mana 4/4 flyer, already good. And it's got multi-kicker for 2. I play Madness, which is active treason. So it can just end the game on its own. But I wouldn't mind taking, like, D'Angelo Racketeers as another card that cares about being discarded. I don't have that many, but this is a common. I might find it later. I'm going to take Valkyrie. Valkyrie can end games on its own. I'll take another Ransack as a discard outlet. Okay, perfect. We found one anyways. Perfect. Well, you know, some people will, if you're looking for somebody to do your dirty work, you know, D'Angelo might. I can't claim that joke. That's been Wheeler's joke, but having 1 is fine, because I'm going to be emptying my hand pretty quickly. I don't want to play this card. I'll take Conspire, but I don't want to play it either. Ooh. I don't know if I want another Awakening. I'm going to take Moderate Drone. Ooh, wow, this is nice. This is late. Pumpworks Engineer, it is stealth unit, so they don't know what it is. It's got War Cry, and then if it goes to the void, so if it dies in combat or you discard it, you can just pay 2 to draw the top unit or weapon of your deck. So I'm going to take it. And then Tactical Expertise is not good. So get out. What are we looking at? Way too many cards. All right. Ensnare goes out. I'm not playing Dive Bomb. I'm not playing Sanguine Sword. I'm not playing Baton. I'm not playing Tablet. This is 16 power, 17 with Vara's Favor, and then I've got Junk Obstructor to make a power. I got Reliable Troops to draw Justice Influence. I got Bannerman to fix my power. I guess I cut Cutthroat, and I guess Afflictor. No. Stealth is... it's more akin to Morph. So, stealth units are either 3 cost, like Leatherhide, or they're 5 cost, like Inquisitive Alchemist. And when you play them, your opponent knows nothing about them. The only stuff that they can deduce about it is if you have cards that like hover over to see if they are legal targets for. I'll show you in a game when our opponent finally plays one, because our opponent will play one. I'm actually going to cut Afflictor. That might be wrong. But I've got enough to do on one. Yeah. Direwolf Digital does a great job with digital-only mechanics. Stealth is one that works pretty well, and it avoids the morph problem, where, you know, everybody has 3-mana 2/2s, and then you change what they do based on how much their cost is to unmorph them. So a stealth unit is hidden until it is affected, essentially, by anything. So if it deals damage, if it's dealt damage, if it's targeted by a spell, if it's targeted by an effect, it'll usually reveal itself to the opponent. And you know which one is which because the art is different for the 3-power stealth units versus the 5-power stealth units. And so, yeah, essentially what you're just looking at when your opponent plays it is, well, what factions are they playing, and what do they have access to? There are a handful of cards, I think there's a couple in each faction, that have Intrigue, which basically says, this is a 3-cost stealth unit, but if you have 5 power, you can play it as a 5-cost stealth unit for a bonus. There's one card that's Merciless Officer, which is a favorite of mine. It is 3 primal for a 4/2 stealth, and that's it. But if you pay 5 for it instead, it becomes a 5-power 4/5 with Berserk. And Berserk's a great mechanic as well. You can choose to attack twice with it, and if you do, you end up... after that, it just has to attack every turn if able. I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little sketchy, but I've got 2 power for this Reliable Troops. I hope I don't get blown out by fire, but... well, our opponent also mulliganed to 6, so... let's see how they do. Well, they have fire, so I'm a little afraid. But I will play Glenn first in this case. Because if I get to Glenn and increase the power of Moderate Drone, I'll be pretty happy with myself. I'm just going to play Reliable Troops and say go. This has Valor, which is essentially Bushido while attacking. Oh, they had Fire Main Cub? Okay, well. Do they have another Fire Main Cub? Cowardice? Okay. So our opponent is emptying their hand. I can't block, so I'm obviously attacking. I'll just play Copperhall Porter. I will accept your 1 damage. Oh, we drew our 3rd power anyways. Fantastic. I'll attack for 2. And then I'm going to play a 2/2 flyer here. They could have Blitzstone, which deals 2 damage to a unit, but they have Vara's Favor. Well, that's actually fine. I am okay trading my Moderating Drone, in this case for Bloodspear Foot Soldier. It looks like they have a trick. There's a couple of tricks they could have. Oh, they don't have it. Cool. So I can play Contract and mill 2. Well, I guess we should attack first. Well, no, let's mill 2. Let's see what we mill. Aww, D'Angelo's might. That's fine, though. Alright, we'll attack. And then I only have one of these. Now let's just play the Racketeers. Oh, they're gonna Runeflame it? Sure. I'm still winning this race, so I'm not in any hurry. We'll attack. I will nil myself here because I want to get more units in my Void for Glint Sapper. And then I'll just say go. One thing that I have noticed a lot is there are a ton of people who are milling their opponents with Shadowpath Intimidator, which doesn't make sense to me. Especially if you're in a deck like this, where like it's in your best interest to mill yourself. It just is. Yeah, like everybody's just like, oh, I'm gonna mill you. Oh, I'm gonna mill you. I mean, some of them are because of cards like Racketeers, which you have to pay two in order to get the bonus. Hmm. Well, I'm attacking. Like, Glenn can't block. You know what? I don't think this Rune of Law is doing a whole lot for me right now, so I'm going to plunder it away. So what plunder does, if it's a non-power card, it turns into a power, and if it's a power card, it turns into a treasure trove, which you can pay two to draw a card. So now Glenn is making 6/6s. I want to trade stuff off, and my opponent is not willing to. So I'm going to attack with my Obstructor to see if they'll eat it. Oh, they're going to trade for it. That's even better. Now I get to make 7/7s. Yeah, and I'm just going to Glen Sapper and pay 6 to make two 7/7s. Yeah, if you don't have the payoffs for milling yourself, sure, mill your opponent. But a lot of these decks do have the payoffs for milling themselves. And our opponent has seen enough. Our opponent has seen enough. Yeah. So we didn't see any stealth units. I guarantee we will. I promise. I could do better. I could do better. One cool thing about Eternal is, this is a key, is your first mulligan is random. Your second mulligan is guaranteed to have anywhere between 2 and 4 power. And then if you have to mulligan to 6, your 6-card mulligan also has between 2 and 4 power. So it's very hard to... Oh, they chose Quick Draw. Nice. I will ransack them, discarding my Alchemist to get the value. Well, this is awful. I want a refund. Okay, the real value was the friends we made along the way. I'm probably going to lose this game because Amarok is a really powerful card. So A, it gets your choice of Aegis or Quick Draw, which is like a one-time hexproof or a... or do they have Icy Grass in their market? This is a constructed combo. What are you doing with it in Limited? Stop! But this has tandem attack. Whenever you attack with 2 units, it gets +2 strength, so... Well, where were you? Okay, well, stop this thing. And I don't want to play Glen Sapper. It's just going to die. I mean, we have some removal, but we don't have any, like, good removal at the moment. It's the biggest problem right now. Oh, Rune of Flame? Sure. Alright, you did it. Good job. Play this. Attack, because I'm not blocking, obviously. Do I want to play this Glen Sapper just to chump? It's probably going to die, but I think I need to. Let's see here. Why don't my slimes fly? I need my slimes to get in the air. Alright, well. Do I go to 1? No, I can't. I can't go to 1. I can't go to 1. Oh, then they're gonna pick up their char or whatever. Oh, Icy Gaze, sure. Okay, well this game's just over. Ah, gotcha. Alright, well. That game was fun and interactive. Nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about that. Our hand was a little slow. We drew really poorly off the ransack, but you know that's how it is sometimes. That's how it be. And our opponent mulligan to 6 too. That was a really good mulligan to 6. Probably Amarok. That card's a rare for a reason. That card won the Open, so it's a good card. Very powerful. Our opponent clearly was in the right seat for their draft. To get Short Hopper and Prowling Amarok, yeah. Their deck was pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, my Ransack did nothing. Nothing! How dare you? This is fine. I can dig this hand. Gato Sujo is another streamer. You can tell because they have the little thing above their rank. All right, Darkwater Vines. Let's go. Urza Squadron. All right, well, I'm just gonna play Glenn and say go. I am unfortunately not blocking. Alright. Just so you know, I guarantee they're going to play a stealth unit here with Rooted Observer. Because when they play a stealth unit, they get a 4-3. Alright. Unfortunately, I may have to block it. Oh, no stealth unit? I'll take 4. Freight Osri. That card's annoying. Well, now I can't ransack you. Of course. Alright, well, I'm still going to pop it so I can discard my Inquisitive Alchemist for value. Unfortunately, it means that nothing happens to them, but I did just mill 4 powers off the bottom of my deck, so good to know where those are. Where does it go? Wow, aggressive. I will double block this time. And sorry, Bushido, it's not intended to be Bushido. It's really more closer to Rampage. Because it gets +1/+1 for each other unit blocking it. Yeah, I'll give that some strength. Street Monitor, sure. I'll play this. I'm going to play Inquisitive Alchemist. So you'll notice, based on the shimmer around Inquisitive Alchemist, that it's hidden. So they don't know what this is. But they know they can topple it. Yeah, this is Rampage with a set number instead of Rampage 2 or whatever. That's Porter. And then I'll mill you. Mill a Hardiness and a Topple. That's good to know. I can't block those. Yeah, let's draw 4 cards. I'm not excited about only drawing 4, but Jesus. All right, well, let's play this. I get well. I am also not winning this game. I'm going to play my flyer, and it's not going to be soon enough. Yeah. Yep, I play this. Nothing happens. They attack. I die. Dang it. All right. We're not going to 1-3. We're not. Your RimWorld faction should be named non-Euclidia. It might be. You underestimate how aggressive this format is. This is a really aggressive format. I'll keep this hand. I'm gonna wait on the obstructor until I see a justice card if I need to plunder it away. Uh-oh. Our opponent has the Great Kudzu. Yeah, I'll plunder that away. Actually, what am I doing? And then I'll choose Obstructor to get +2 strength. What do we draw? Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, we milled an Inquisitive Alchemist, but we had no Justice, so it didn't do anything. Oh yeah, it's not. I don't know if it's Gate Crash levels of aggro. I never played Gate Crash, but it is very aggressive. Workshop Tinker. Well, they discarded their Great Kudzu. Great Kudzu's hilarious, by the way. Oh hey, found it. That's cool. Um, let's get in there. They're not gonna block. Wheel Junk Obstructor this, and then I'll open away Supplier. I guess, yeah, it's about our devastation. I say that, and I judged a PPTQ in our devastation, and the winning deck was a green-white deck that splashed Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh. Explain that one. Oh yeah, this trade's fine with me. Yep, yep. I said what I said. I said what I said. I'm gonna make a I'm gonna make a flyer. No, but again, this was at a PPTQ. These were players trying to make the Pro Tour, and the winning deck was green, white, splash, and Nicol Bolas. And the funny thing was, I was observing the draft, making sure everything was going well, and the person who um, opened Nicol Bolas, they were playing blue red, and they passed it, thinking that they couldn't play it because they couldn't make the black splash work. Philly Ox, thank you so much for the raid. I apologize for not having any bells and whistles, but this is literally the first stream I ever did, and I was just like putting everything together, and I was trying to make it work. So, but thank you. That's awesome. It is in your green white deck, Insanity. It is in your green white deck. I'm gonna kill this. So killer, for those who don't know, is essentially the Hearthstone mechanic where it's a one-time attack. Oh, this is fine. This is acceptable as well. Top unit of my deck is +1/+1 or +2/+2. I'll attack with my two power units. Oh yeah, God Pharaoh is the real deal. God Pharaoh is the one with 4 abilities. God Pharaoh is the one where it's +2, you Aetherworks Marvel their deck, +1 to make them discard 2 cards, and just do a bunch of other stuff. Oh, by the way, so this is a stealth unit. It is a 3-cost stealth unit. I do not know what its power, or I don't know what its strength is, and I don't know what its health is, and everything else about it is hidden to me. All I know is that it costs 3 power, and it's in their factions. So I know it's a time or a justice card. That's it. All I know. But what I can do, and I'm going to Chairman's Contract me, by the way. Aww. And then I'm going to use Hypnotic Valkyrie, and I'm going to steal it. I want to know what it is. Sticky Fly Trap. Haha! You are not stealing my, You're not stopping my flyers this time. going to take 5. They're at 6. I have 8 power in the air. Yeah, Dragon God is a lot trickier. Oh, they had Topple? Well, I should have anticipated as such. They're going to play their own moderating drone. That's fine. We draw Pumpworks Engineer. Well, let's attack for 2. They're going to trade. Because of course they're going to trade. Then I'm going to Pumpworks Engineer to draw this. Fantastic. I get 2 1/1s with Valor. And then I'm going to play Town Watchman. And he's a big boy. And he's got Warcry. I don't think this card's good. But. Alright, so Nectar Snare Lotus. This is killer. This is a one-time attack. So they're just going to kill... Oh, they're just going to pop the Regent on my Darkwater Vines. That's cool, too. I think having a 3/7 is going to be better than drawing the top 2 cards of their deck. I think. Alright, so they have another stealth unit. Oh, they have their own Pumpworks Engineer. Cool. Then they draw a unit of whatever type. What do you got? It could even be a 3/7. Alright, so they drew another killer unit. Sure. Ooh. Oh. Oh. I might wait to get my 7th power before Glen Sapping. So I'm about to make 2 11/11s. We'll kill the 3/3. It could even be a 3/7. You are correct. But now I'm going to make 2 12/12s, and I don't know how they come back from this. They're at 6. I'm at 24. That's not a power. Well, I will ransack them, though, discarding Bannerman. Because I want to draw one of their powers. And if I don't, I draw 2 spells. So that's even better. Power. Ooh. Hello. Is that useful? Actually, it is. Okay, they may have a response here. That's fine. Kill your 2/3. The great thing about Valor killers is that because they are technically being blocked, they get +1/+1. Which is just magnificent. Humbug Nest. You may have a Humbug Nest. You can keep coming in, my friend, but I'm about to put a big stop sign in front of your attacking. You will need... Aww. Well, that's fine, too. You're going to need some big... You're going to need 2 topples in a row. Because I got 2 13/13s. That wasn't a topple. You got shackles? It's not going to help you much. Yeah, makes sense to me. Yeah, our opponent has seen enough. Glen Sapper is a ridiculous card. And to think we got it second to last pick in Pack 1. Second to last. What about everybody else? No one else was drafting Shadow. Everyone was just doing other stuff. And they're like, no, I don't want this Glen Sapper. It's a 1-mana 1/1 flyer. That's not good. I can get 2 of those with Humbug Swarm. Not when you make 2 13/13s. Not when you make 2 13/13s. But we're 2-2. My last 7-win deck, or no, the last draft started this way too. We won the first match, lost the next 2, won the next one. So let's see if we can get there. I had a draft earlier today. It was a great Xenon deck. I had Behold the Truth. I had Glen Sapper. The deck was insane. I started off 5-0, and then we ended up going 5-3, and I was so upset. So upset. Hello, Iplong. No. I don't hate this. Oh, yeah, you're fine. Do you know how many times we've had to explain that? How many times I've had to explain to people why, no, you're not getting service today. I'll still just play Glen out. Some people just don't get it. They just don't understand. Faceless one's cool. It's a 2-mana 1/1 that can't block, but if you have Shadow and you discard it, you get to play it for free. I'm gonna mill myself. If they're playing Faceless one, I don't want to mill them. And I milled a Power and a Shadow Path Intimidator, so. Oh, yeah, we're short-staffed as well. We've had a lot of people asking us why our executive lounge isn't open. And it's like, dude, we don't have any staff. Like, don't know what to tell you. We just don't have it. I would love to get to this D'Angelo Might, but I'm going to discard it. I'd rather have 2 1/1s. Yeah, Ninja, our hotel has 533 rooms. Yeah, I'll just take 7. I don't want to, but I will. Well, there you go. That's nice. Attack with everything. And then I'm going to play Molderbuck. And then see what my opponent wants to do. I don't know how they beat Molderbuck. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. They're taking 9 next turn? Sure, I'll take 5. Skull Breacher is cool. It is a 3/2 trample, but it has deadly on your turn. So blocking it on when it's their turn is miserable. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this though. I don't want them to keep doing that nonsense. Then we're gonna attack. And then Molderbuck's going to do his thing, and game's over. I was having a conversation with Ian on Twitter. Because there's a lot of consternation with Arena about how they do their ranked stuff and everything going on, and like invites. The one thing that I like about Eternal is that I just don't care about the ladder. Sure, it's nice to see numbers increase, like in Expedition, I'm in Gold 2. This is actually new. I never tried this hover over thing. This is new. And you get rewards, and they're all pretty medium for each rank. For example, I'm Gold in Expedition, so at the end of the month, I'll get 2 packs, a premium rare and a premium uncommon. And then it's nice, like going over to the draft and saying, "Hey, look, I'm the 14th ranked drafter in all of Eternal." Which, it is what it is, but, I'm not really fighting that many people for it. I think we're at 42 Master Drafters right now. I have hit Master now in every format. This was the first time I've hit Masters in Draft. And I know that there's one person who, Lights Out Ace, is the previous world champion. So he's a very, very good player. He's hit Master, I think, every month consecutively for the last 4 years. So he's really good at the game. And I could, if I had A, the time, and B, the want to, and I just don't have the want to, I don't have the time. Like, I've done it once. I feel like I've done it all the time. Alright, so now we've got recruitment effort. So I'm going to keep this. We'll see how this goes. But if I can get recruitment effort going, then this game might end very fast. You've got to be kidding me. Why? This is going to be good. Another thing I love is that the emotes are faction specific, so the more you level up in certain factions, the better everything gets for you. So, for example, my welcome emote is a fire emote. I don't have any others that are like that, but sure. Do I have a power? Oh. This is fine though. I get to play a D'Angelo Racketeers? Absolutely. Yeah, I'll do that for free. Well, for free. What did I mill from them? Battle Waves Elite, Rapid Shot, 2 time sigils. Then I milled an Intimidator, an Elder's Feather, a Racketeers, and a Watchman. And a Bannerman. Yeah, okay. Just, casual mill 6. Mill 10 total cards. My opponent's roping? Kansai, why do you want to rope? Okay. They must have just been debating blocking about... They probably have a 4-drop they want to play. Alright, so there's a stealth unit. Ransack. Well, I'm going to play recruitment effort first, and then I'm going to attack with my dudes, because I want to attack with my dudes. And then next turn, I'm going to ransack, discarding this Inquisitive Alchemist. Oh, baby. Oh, Frontheim here. Okay, so this card's really good. So it's a stealth unit. It's 3/2 deadly, which is decent stats. And then whenever they take damage or play another stealth unit, you can reveal it and gain 5. So basically, they only took 1 on this attack, which is pretty good. But they also don't want to trade this for a 4/3 I paid 2 power for. Stealth unit, sure. This is also a rare, so... I'm going to ransack pitching my Alchemist. So I'm going to make a 2/2. As well as buff the top card of my deck. Clearly, this game hates me. This is the second ransack I've drawn 2 powers. Clearly, it hates me. I do have 6 power now, and if they block the Porter, I get to 7, so I get to Hypnotic Valkyrie if I want to. Listen, you. Listen, Ninja. Listen. Oh, they traded for the 4/3? That makes sense. No blocks. I could trade this off and make another 2/2, but... Leatherhide. Okay. Leatherhide's annoying. I may chump it with Porter here. Okay. Now, this is a big stealth unit. So this is a 5 power. This is a 5-cost stealth unit. And you can tell it's a 5-cost stealth unit because it has the bigger, spookier art. But I am just going to play this Inquisitive Alchemist and say go, I guess. There's a lot of things this could be. There's a 4/2 quick draw. That would be pretty bad for me if it was the 4/2 quick draw. I still haven't drawn whatever got the buff from the first Inquisitive Alchemist. So this could buff the same unit that the previous Inquisitive Alchemist hit. Well, the good news is this isn't Carnosaur. 1 mana, 1/1 killer. This is the downside of Open Way Supplier, because sometimes you just miss. It just misses. So let's see. So they're only attacking with Leatherhide. I mean, I'm fine with this trade. I'm totally fine with this trade. They could play a thing that messes with it, but yeah, I'm fine with this trade. Flying Death Touch, yes, but this does not have Death Touch. It is only flying, and it has Killer, so it can direct attack something. Oh, look at this beefy boy. Oh, Glenn. Glenn, you've really let yourself go. Yeah, 1/1 Death Touch Flyer is annoying. There's actually there's a card from the second set that's a 2 Time Shadow 1/3 Flying Death Touch. Or Flying Deadly. And that card was annoying. God, that card was annoying. Well, I guess I can't block. Alright, what do you got coming up? What's your next play? Are they gonna kill one of my 2/1s? That'd be adorable. Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually really good. Oh. Well, I was gonna steal their guy, but now I'm gonna draw 6 cards. Oh, 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 beautiful. Look at these draws. These draws are amazing. Vara's favor, kill the deadly. Oh, oh, devour. Okay, so I don't gain the life, but I do draw the shadow sigil, and then yeah, yeah, I'll attack for everybody. Why shouldn't I attack with everything? I mean, they could block this, but I got this for free. They can block the 6/5, and then they buff something in my hand. They could eat this, or they're gonna eat the thing they got for free. Oh, okay. I had a feeling this was the soldier. So as you can see, the soldier has intrigue 2. This is actually a 3-cost card that they played for 5. It's normally a 2/2, and then become a 4/4. There is not Settle the Wreckage. No, Settle the Wreckage is not a card in this format. There is a Path to Exile card that costs 2, deals 7 damage to a unit, and then you play a basic sigil from your deck. Cool, cool. That's fine. And what else you got, opponent? What else you got? Yeah, it's Ice Blast or something. I forget the exact title. Uh, I'm going to Obstructor the Time Sigil. That way they don't know I drew it. I'm going to draw a card off the Time Sigil. Oh, it's Moldermuck. Great. Then I'm just going to play Moldermuck, and I'm going to play Reliable Troops. I'm going to say go, and then I'm going to kill them next turn by using Hypnotic Valkyrie. Yeah, it's a primal card. Make your move, sweetheart? I did! I don't want to attack. Because I want to make sure you know that this game is going to be over very quickly. I'm also going to steal 2 of your units. I wonder if they drew their killer unit. Oh. I'll just take 5. There's nothing you could have that does anything here. Nothing? At all? Seems loose. Alright, I'll just steal these 2 things. Don't mind me. Do you have another, like, Devour? Miasma. Ah. All my units get -1/-1. That does change things a little bit. I don't think it changes them anything appreciably. Dune Phantom. That's adorable too. And then I'll attack. Thought blocking would exhaust it, but yeah. I guess it doesn't on killer attacks. There is not a card called Berserk. There is a there's a mechanic called Berserk which lets you attack twice. But once you attack once, you have to attack every turn if able. I also don't think the O6 is good in this format because it's so aggressive that you want blockers that eat their units, not just make it so that they don't deal damage. I think you just can do so much better than an O6 flying ambush blocker. Great when it gets buffs, but you don't always get buffs. So I will say I was not expecting to get Miasma there. I was not expecting that. Yeah. Turn back time. What are you picking up? Miasma? What are you regrowing? You have a lot of options, that's for sure. Oh, the gain 5. The guy who gains you life, sure. Okay. In that case, that's actually adorable. I think that's lethal. Because I attack for 10, you go to -3, you never reveal your guy to gain you 5 life. Yeah, who could say? Who could say? All right. So, if this was the open, this would be my final round with this deck. This hand's horrible. And I need to get to 5 wins. This hand is worse. I mean, I guess. I'm not excited about this hand, but at least it kills something of theirs. There is actually a card that, if it is a stealth card, that essentially willbenders. Yeah, I'll kill it. Oh, I didn't. Whatever. Let's contract. That's fine. Orange Jailer. I'll play this. I will mill myself. Hey, Inquisitive Alchemist buff. Why don't people mill themselves? I don't understand it. Do you not get that this is free value you're leaving on the table? I'll take 3. Yes, I do have a fan. I'm sitting next to the AC. That may be the issue. I'll attack. You can block, that's fine. And then I'll get Justice. I am glad that we figured out the problem with my air conditioning. Yeah, AC is a known issue to sound quality. I don't know if there's a good way to avoid that in this house in the South. I mean, I will 100% trade my Bannerman for your Orange Jailer. Show me! Nope, great. This is fine too. Lumen Defender. Alright, I'll just play Glenn. In the South? Are you crazy? You live in Arizona, you have like no humidity. I'll take one. Oh, that's why you have a Populous controller. Oh. I'll just play this dude and say go. Unfortunately, this Populous controller is just gonna hit me a bunch. Opponent, you can stop having Populous controllers. Why? Block. If I triple, it goes to 9. And I have 9. Alrighty, let's see how this works out. It probably won't. Oh, hey, it did. I thought they were going to have a combo trick. Or a combat trick. Oh, then you had execute? Sure. I will steal your guy. I think I'm still dead, however, so... I do not think that I am winning this game. I had to trade 3 creatures for 1 of theirs. Oh, this feels like lethal. This just feels like lethal. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was lethal. If I didn't block this... Yeah, okay. So I had to block Populous Controller. Okay, whatever. I was dead 6 ways to Sunday. Alright, well, a 4 and 3 is not bad. I wish it was better, but I'll take a 4 and 3. And then we'll open some packs. Empire of Glass. Ooh, Sharp Tactician. That card is really good. We'll open some Echoes of Eternity. Have I read this card before? 6 Shadow, 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 6/5 Flying Quick Draw, Nightmare Dragon. Your spells and curses can't be negated or stopped by Aegis. Tribute, Invoke Shadow. Little pricey. Then Blister Sting Claws, 6x Shadow Shadow. Oh, I've seen this one. You have Deadly while you have a unit with Deadly. That card's cute. Fun fact about how the mechanics work in Eternal. If you have a relic weapon that has Deadly, all of your spells have Deadly. And it works for Lifesteal, it works with Overwhelm. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, I've got one more draft ticket, but I want to save that for later. So I am going to head out. I wonder if there is anybody who is streaming still. It looks like Roshi is streaming, so let me see if I can figure out how to raid. How raid? How do we watch as John tries to figure out how to raid live? No, that's not what I want to do. How raid? How do we raid? And then, hold on. Don't tell me. I want to figure this out. Nope, not this. Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Well, in that case, I will figure this out. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Y'all have a good night. I will see you all at some point in the future.